Welcome to the penultimate day of action here at the Swim England National Summer Meet 2017. It's Saturday, it's the weekend, we're all ready to go with the morning session in just around 10 minutes time. Do make sure you get involved with us today on the hashtag SE Swimming. We've got lots to come here in the Steel City.
Our thanks go to sponsors and partners without whom this event would not be possible. Funding partner, Sport England. Official partner, Tier. Endorsed product, Sports Systems. Host city, marketing Sheffield and Sheffield International venues.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remember not to use flash photography during the start of races. Mobile phones and similar devices must be switched off during the event or turned to silent, as they can distract the athletes. So Ponds Forge, as I say, penultimate day of action in the Swim England National Summer Meet, day number 4 of course. I'm Jonathan Bell, up in the commentary position. Dave Rogers will be back alongside me today, and also will be Laura Winter, who I don't know what she thinks she's done to put herself on that podium again, but she's back there again this morning. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning, Johnny, and good morning, Dave, as well. Welcome back. Yes, you never quite get tired of being on the top step of a podium. A very warm welcome and a good morning to everyone here in Ponds Forge who's already taken their seats bright and early for the heats on day 4 of the National Summer Meet. And of course, to everyone watching on that live stream at home as well, wherever you are in the world. We have so much action to bring you today. The men's and women's 200-metre butterfly, 50 breaststroke, 100 back, the men's 400 free, the women's 100 free, and the multi-class 200 free as well for both men and women. Much to come. We saw some tremendous finals in this pool yesterday, and indeed medals were won from all 10 lanes of the pool. It really were some outside burners, some hot favourites in the centre lanes. It was very unpredictable and a joy to commentate on, and we're hoping for much more of the same fast and fierce racing today. Of course, many of the kids swimming here will no doubt have been inspired by GB's success at the recent World Championships in Budapest, and we now have the chance to see some of Britain's best competing on home soil. That's right, a new multi-sport event takes place next year, Glasgow 2018. The European Aquatics Championships will be up in Scotland. Tickets are available now, glasgow2018.com. And if you don't believe me that it's going to be really very good, take a look at this.
A light is ready to shine throughout Glasgow and Scotland once again, when 3,000 European athletes will come together before our eyes to bet our bests for bars to raise, where in one instant a lifetime of ambition lies. Don't miss the chance to be with them at this incredible event, to witness the beauty of one human's endeavour towards a single moment that will last forever.
it, then hashtag the moment. It's going to be a tremendous atmosphere next year at Glasgow 2018. Indeed, if the Glasgow 2014 Commonwealth Games are anything to go by. I can already see swimmers lining up. We will be starting our heats any minute now. Don't forget, if you're watching at home, if you're up in the stands here, nervously waiting for son or daughter to race, get involved on Twitter. Send in those good luck messages of support as well, using our hashtag SE Swimming at @swim_England. We're also running a Twitter competition as well for the best photo for a chance to win a Tia bag. I may have entered this competition myself, diving headfirst into the bucket that's in the foyer. There are some props out there, so for everyone here, you've got a slight advantage. If you are watching at home, though, or wherever you are in the world on the live stream, send us in your photos as well. You never know, you might be in with a chance to win that Tia bag. I think we better get on with the heats this morning, so I'll head up to commentary and leave you to the racing.
Thank you very much for that, Laura. Yeah, I have to say, Laura's entry into that competition is quite an interesting one. So do make sure you look on the hashtag SE Swimming. And also talking of Glasgow as well, you may see the store in venue just at the entrance as you come into the main arena. Lots of freebies on show. I've got myself a badge already. There's pens, all that good stuff available there as well. And further information about the European Aquatics Championships. So do make sure you go over there and get some information in your good time. And also a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, do make sure if there is a seat nearby to you, do sit down as people are behind you and trying to get a good view of the pool to watch their friend, family member, etc. So please do make sure you sit down if there is a seat nearby to you. Thank you very much for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to welcome to the poolside your referees and team of technical officials. Ladies and gentlemen, your referees, Tom Baster and Gillian Smith. Your starters for this morning's session are Suzanne Johnson and Jill Beard. Officials, you may be seated. A reminder as well, ladies and gentlemen, of course in our first few heats we always see the younger age category of 13 to 14 years of age, and if you are a parent or guardian of a swimmer that is 13, 14 years of age at these summer meet, then do make sure you go to the Skyline Bar at the conclusion of the morning session between 12:45 and 1:45, as there will be a talk with Fred Furness from Swim England, who will be providing information about the talent pathway that will be delivered within the 2017 and 2021 cycle. So do make sure you get your seat there. It's a first come, first serve basis, and it starts at 12:45. Highly recommendable. And if you talk to anyone that was here last week at the British Summer Championships and listen to Fred, then they will certainly recommend it to you as well. So it's time then, ladies and gentlemen, to kick off this Saturday morning here in Ponds Forge. It's the men's 200 metre butterfly, starting with Heat 1. And away we go then with our first heat this morning of 8 in the men's 200 metre butterfly. And taking to the pool for this one in lane 1 from City of Peterborough is Connor Walker. In 2 from Dulwich Dolphins is Theodore Thompson. In 3 from City of Leeds is Ethan Sutcliffe. Lane 4 from City of Leicester is James Bartley. Kieran Richards of West Suffolk goes in 5. In 6 from Cleethorpes is Oliver Bradley. Lane 7 from Doncaster Darts, AJ Scott. And in 8 from City of Milton Keynes is Joshua Press. So coming towards the halfway point in this first heat, all the swimmers, as I say, earlier on, 13, 14 years in the first heats. And of course, all the swimmers seeded in the heats in regards to their entry times. So the heats will get faster as we go on, but some brisk starts being made in the pool here with Theodore Thompson in 2 and Oliver Bradley in lane 6. Of course, the slight delay just before that heat there, a couple of swimmers just getting to the blocks. One of them, Theodore Thompson, that has not disrupted him one bit, and he's going along very well so far as he goes into his final 75 metres or so now. Beginning to make a slight burst from the centre in 4 is James Bartley of City of Leicester, fastest seed in this heat on 2:23.71 with the entry time. And on the outside as well, lane 1, Connor Walker of City of Peterborough, not too far out of contention, out of the top 3. Of course, it doesn't really matter where you finish in these heats, but when you're against someone, a full pull, if you like, in your own category, you want to finish as high up as possible to make sure there is little competition coming up later in the heats that can finish above you. And Theodore Thompson seems to be well aware of that here. Definitely putting the foot on the gas with 25 metres to go. Still level pegging alongside Oliver Bradley. Those two almost being pulled together on the same bit of string as they come into the final 15 now. Still that pursuit on from James Bartley down the centre in lane 4. A very symmetrical pull with that front 3 at the moment as they come in towards the dying embers of this one. It's going to be really close between 2 and 6. It has been all the way, and Theodore Thompson wins that battle in the end. 2:21.43 sees him touching ahead of Oliver Bradley, who gets second. And in third position, James Bartley of City of Leicester. 2:22.82 for the East Midlands. And we'll have a look right now at the confirmation of that first heat as we now go on to heat 2. Well underway with Heat 2, full complement in the pool for this one. In lane 0 from Nova Centurion is Dominic Bulls. In 1 from Winsford is Jade Cushion. Lane 2 from Wirral Metro is Louis Harwood. Archie Minto of City of Bradford goes in 3. In 4 from Harrogate is Nathan Bunkle. In lane 5 from City of Oxford, George Rudd. In 6 from Northampton, Patrick Marnie. Harrison Barber of Biddulph goes in 7. In 8 from Clevedon, Ben Penhale. And in 9 from Burnley is Benjamin Havers-Strong. Well, lane 6 seems to be a good place to be at the moment. Of course, in the last heat, Oliver Bradley finishing in second. He was up in the front two all the way in the heat and currently leading the way in heat number 2. Patrick Marnie of Northampton. Once again, a vast majority of these swimmers 13, 14-year-olds. The exception is George Rudd in lane 5 in the category above in the 15-year-olds. And he's currently poised in second position at the moment. Also going to mention the 2 outside lanes as well. 0 and 9, Benjamin Bulls and Benjamin Havers-Strong, respectively. And inside of them as well, lane 1, Jay Cushion, lane 8, Ben Penhill, going along very nicely indeed at this moment in time. So the on-real lane's been left behind, and the 2 down the centre, which is pretty surprising. But the turn being made now for home first by Patrick Marnie of Northampton. 141.11 the split time there after the first 3 quarters. He came into this event with an entry time of 2:22.24. A lot of these swimmers hitting around that 2:22 mark. But it's certainly not that close here in the water here today in Sheffield. Very spread out formation indeed. As we're going towards the final 15 metres now, Patrick Marnie seems to have this one sewn up. Second's going to be really close. Lane 5, George Rudd of City of Oxford, of course, wanting to set the benchmark, being the first 15-year-old swimmer in the pool this morning. And lane 9, Benjamin Havers-Strong as well, doing well. But Patrick Marnie's in first. Northampton, you can hear the cheers from them as they get 2:17.25. George Rudd of City of Oxford gets 2:20.09. And in third position, Benjamin Havers-Strong of Burnley, completing the fastest trio that time around in Heat 2. Confirmation of those scoreboards, of those times on the scoreboard for Heat number 2. And we're now ready for Heat 3.
All swimmers up and away in heat number 3 this morning in the men's open 200-metre butterfly. In lane 0, which is furthest to the right in the direction the swimmers are currently travelling, is Kenji McDade from Maxwell. Next to him in lane 1 from City of Manchester Aquatics, it's Adam Jones. In 2 from Sevenoaks, it's Nathaniel Rodriguez. Ross Phelp goes in lane 3 from Staines. In 4 from Basildon and Phoenix, it's Samuel Perks. In the middle, in lane 5 from Stockport Metro is Sean Penter. Benjamin Beadle goes in lane 6 from Deepings. In 7, Jaden Worldley of Team Bath. In 8, Thomas English from Chester Le Street. And finally, in lane 9 on the far side, and going quite well at the moment from City of Peterborough, it is Henry Pearce. Quite close at the front, lanes 2 and 3. That's Rodriguez and Philp will be the first to turn out halfway. Let's keep an eye on the times there. 1:05.04. Nathaniel Rodriguez of Sevenoaks turns in first place with half of the race to go. Top 10 fastest times will go through to the finals later on. Fastest time so far, Patrick Marnie from Northampton in that second heat, 2:17.25. Most of these swimmers in the 14 and 15 years of age category, but Thomas English in lane 8. He's the only 13-year-old in the race. As we approach the end of the third length, which will take us to the final 50 metres. Going well in lane 1 is Adam Jones from City of Manchester Aquatics, but it's Nathaniel Rodriguez who turns first with 50 metres to go. 1:42.64. Adam Jones just behind him, and Ross Philp in lane 3 in third. So that an interesting battle. In lane 2, Nathaniel Rodriguez. He won't complete the race, so in first place now it's Adam Jones from City of Manchester Aquatics. Lane 3 going well, that's Ross Philp, but over on the far side it's a great comeback from Henry Pearce, City of Peterborough. What a brilliant last 50 metres he's going to have. It's tightening up now towards the end though, and the touch will come from Henry Pearce, 2:18.55. Adam Jones, 2:20.51. Ross Philp gets third. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will keep you updated with exactly what is happening, but provisionally, Henry Pearce gets first place there, 218.55. Let's take this opportunity to talk social media then. SE Swimming is the hashtag. We've had lots of entries throughout the competition. It's been great to hear from quite so many of you. Let's have a little look at Twitter. Fiona Roberts has been in. Thank you very much for tweeting in, Fiona. Good luck, Ethan, swimming for City of Leeds today. Laura, of course, who you met a little bit earlier, presenting on the big screen. She asks you to tune in on the live stream. So if you are watching wherever you are in the world, a very warm welcome to you. Let us know where you're watching from using the hashtag SE Swimming. Wirral Metro have been tweeting in as well. Good luck to Connor Harwood, Louise Harwood, Elliot Pickford and Caitlin Bradford swimming in the heats this morning. Also great to hear from Central Bedfordshire and Asheville Sport as well. Fiona Roberts wishing good luck to everyone from Halifax Swimming Club. And Jenny Hibbs saying good luck to Team Salford as well. So if you do have a good luck message for anyone, tweet us in at SE Swimming, and we are giving away a tier kit bag as well. If you'd like to be in with a chance of winning that, then send this in your best picture using the hashtag SE Swimming. It can be from inside the venue, it can be from at home. Of course, we have been swimming here all week. Take a look at the big screen right now. We have some highlights from yesterday's finals. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the swimmers for men's 200 butterfly, heat 4. This is heat number 4 of 8 in the men's open 200 butterfly. Swimming in lane 0 on the right hand side in the white swim cap from Nova Centurion is Cole Hewitt. To his left, or will be to his right at the turn in lane number 1 from Leek is Callum Rushen. Tom Adams goes in 2 from Deepings, and from Barnet Copthall, Benea Mutinda is in lane 3. In 4, it's Theo Rogers from Havant and Waterlooville. From Royal Wolverhampton. In 5, it's Samuel Harris. In 6, from Preston, it's Jack Howard. Reed Jones goes in 7 from Plymouth Leander. From Kingston upon Hull, in 8, it's Alexander Everson. And making up heat 4 in lane 9 from Stowmarket, it's Manfred Battle. As we reach the halfway point, the second of 4 lengths in this 200 butterfly. Reed Jones turns first, 102.77. That's a good opening stanza for him. Cole Hewitt, Nova Centurion out there in lane 0, turns second, 103.55. So lane 7 in that gold cap is Reed Jones there, going well as we approach 70 metres to go. But in lane 0, 1 and 2, those pushing themselves on. Cole Hewitt in 0, Callum Rushen in 1, Tom Adams in 2. And then, of course, in lane 4, in the middle, Theo Rogers, who is the quickest entry time, 2:18.01. Samuel Harris of Wolverhampton, 2:18.03. But he's got a little bit of work to do here as we approach the final 25 metres. It's a strong finish in lane 0 from Cole Hewitt, pushing himself towards the front. In lane 7, Reed Jones is dropping off a little bit, but getting stronger and stronger in lane 0. It's Cole Hewitt of Nova Centurion in the white cap and the blue shorts. Inside him, Callum Rushen from Leek finishing strong as well. He'll get on for second place, but Cole Hewitt is just fading a little bit. Rushen finishing strong. Who'll get the touch? It is Callum Rushen, 2:15.57, the quickest time in the pool this morning. Cole Hewitt takes second place, 2:15.60, and Tom Adams gets third. That interesting battle in 0, 1 and 2, finishing Rushen first, Hewitt second, Adams third. That is confirmation of the results on the big screen. Next up, Heat 5.
Well, last heat probably typifying the heats we've seen so far. Not exactly going to paper as of yet, which is fantastic to see. All the swimmers on top of their game coming into this Saturday morning here in Ponds Forge and taking to the pool. In heat 5, as we surpass the halfway point, lane 0 from Bedfordshire is James McFarland. In 1 from Ealing, Samuel Thornton. In 2 from Saxon Crown is Maciej Sapinski. In lane 3 from Exeter City, Joseph Day. Christian Tye of Bournemouth Collegiate goes in 4. In 5 from Skipton, Ethan Camsey. In 6 from Leicester Penguins, Isaac Van Fintel. Adam Merker of Gateshead and Wickham goes in 7. In 8 from Northampton, Billy Petty. And in 9 from Leander is Jack Aaron Thomas. 100 metres down, 100 metres to go. Christian Tye in lane 4, booking that trend of swims that so far have gone against the trend, as he was the fastest heat coming into this with an entry time of 2:15.29, over half a second quicker than nearest rival Ethan Camsey in lane 5. Those two, the only two to get under 2:16 coming into this. Vast majority of the pool in the peloton, if you like, very equal indeed at this moment as they turn to the final 50, but the front two are ahead of the rest by a little bit of a margin here. Christian Tye in 4, Joseph Day in 3. A good start to this back 50 coming up in lane 8 from Billy Pettit, and even better in lane 6 from Isaac Van Fintel. So how far can they push each other in order to get to the wall? All these swimmers in the 16-year category. This is a straight shootout as to who potentially can set the benchmark for the rest of the 16-year-olds coming up in the remaining 4 heats, 3 heats should I say. Touching in first, Christian Tye of Bournemouth Collegiate on 2:12.69. Second spot for Isaac Van Fintel of Leicester Penguins, and in third is Joseph Day of Exeter City. Just nudged out at the top 2, right at the death there in heat 5. Confirmation of those scores in ascending order to appear on the scoreboard very soon indeed. Christian Tye relatively comfortable in that heat with 2:12.69. 2.5 second improvement on the entry time as well for him. DQ to bring you in lane 1. That shouldn't really affect the overall standings too much. Confirmation then of heat 5 on the screen now. Let's go to heat 6. Entry times for this heat very spread out indeed, as are the age categories as well. We're beginning to introduce some of our seniors into the pool here. A few 17-year-olds as well taking up the outside lanes. In lane 0 from Barkingham Dagenham is Liam Doherty-Hill. Lane 1 from Chelsea and Westminster, Christy Moon. In 2 from Redditch is Paul Wilkes. William McIntyre of Louth goes in 3. In 4 from Wolverhampton, Matthew Holland. Lane 5 representing Stockport Metro, Harry Lewis Mitchell. Now lane 6 in this heat. In 7 from Winsford, Adam Blackshaw. George Mann of Wickham District is in lane 8, and in 9 from Wirral Metro, Connor Harwood. As I said, the entry times coming into this were pretty spread out. 2:07.76 for Matthew Holland being the quickest. 7 seconds quicker than that of the slowest on paper in this heat, Connor Harwood in 9. So more or less what is going on in the pool right now, particularly on the half of the pool nearest to myself, furthest away from the spectator gallery, with the typical diagonal line spanning from the central lanes out towards the outside lanes. And at the point of it, in lane 5, Harry Lewis Mitchell of Stockport Metro. The 3 in lane 7, 8 and 9 pretty much bunched up together at the moment, with Adam Blackshaw of Winsford just peeking in front of the other 2. George Mann and Connor Harwood to his left. Those 3 in the 17-year category, so more or less having a bit of a race of their own at the moment. Of course, 5 age category finals tonight. It's not about where you finish in the heats, it's all about the times you get in conjunction with those in the same age category. And we come towards the final 15 metres now then. In lane 5, Harry Lewis Mitchell of Stockport Metro has definitely clawed himself all the way towards each length, and he's done very good indeed. Coming in towards the final few metres now, and he comes towards the wall. Second and third may be close. First isn't Harry Lewis Mitchell of 2:07.94, with William McIntyre in second spot, and Christy Moon completes the top trio that time around. Heat 6 confirmation up and coming very soon indeed. There we have it. Up next, penultimate heat, heat 7.
Heat number 7, the penultimate heat here in the men's 200 butterfly. In lane 0 from Crew Flyers, it's Michael Goodby. Going in 1 from Grantham, it's Caleb Mackay. In 2, Harry Whiteman from City of Peterborough. Millfield's Adam Brown goes in 3. In lane 4, it's Luke Gunning from Beckenham as all swimmers reach the turn. And in 5, from Mount Kelly, it's Thomas Brew. Loughborough University's Aaron Hill goes in 6. In 7 from Hillingdon, it's Mitchell Adams. Miles Clark from Ealing goes in 8. And from Ulverston in 9, it's Tom Robinson. So approaching the halfway point in this 7th heat. First to the turn is Loughborough University's Aaron Hill. Just over a minute there, 1:00.73. That's the quickest 100 metres we've had so far. Luke Gunning and Adam Brown in 2nd and 3rd, and Thomas Brew of Mount Kelly a close 4th as well. So that is the interesting battle so far. In lane 6, it is the man from Loughborough University, Aaron Hill, just pushing the pace. However, Luke Gunning from Beckenham, the 20-year-old, the oldest man in the field, just starting to use that strength and experience to get half a length's advantage going into the final 50 metres. Gunning turns first in 1:34 dead. Adam Brown going well too, turns in 2nd from Millfield. Now Hill of Loughborough University in 3rd, and Thomas Brew in 4th. It's a very strong finish from the man in lane 4, Luke Gunning from Beckenham. He's got stronger and stronger as the race has gone on. He's got about a length lead, but the battle for 2nd really hotting up. Adam Brown, possibly the favourite at the moment in the green cap. However, in lane 5, Thomas Brew from Mount Kelly still going well too. But it'll be lane 4 to stop the clock first. Luke Gunning, 2:07.65. Brown second. Thomas Brew of Mount Kelly in third. Aaron Hill in fourth. We'll await official confirmation of that before going into the final heat. And moving on from that heat, we'll be going into the women's 200 butterfly. But there it is. Luke Gunning of Beckingham gets first place, 2:07.65. Adam Brown, Millfield second. Thomas Brew, Mount Kelly third. Next up, it's the final heat, heat 8. All 10 swimmers approaching 25 metres in this 8th and final heat. In lane 0, in the gold cap from Plymouth Leander is Sean Gray. In 1 from Team Mercia, David Broadbent. From City of Coventry, in 2, it's Daniel Moore. Jack 2 goes in lane 3 from City of Sheffield. Moving towards the middle into lane 4, it's William Slawson of Wrekin College. In 5, Dominic Waldridge of Exeter City. Harley Beeches goes in 6 from Wigan Best. And in 7, Noah Dean from Wickham District. Ben Harrison of Mount Kelly goes in 8. And in 9 from Soundwell, it's Daniel Ahmed. Dominic Woolridge looking like he'll be in first place at the halfway point, but also going well in 2 is Daniel Moore, City of Coventry. This is probably the tightest heat we've had so far. Woolridge turns in first place. In 4, Slawson of Wrekin College turns in third, and Daniel Moore from City of Coventry, 1:00.57 is the second quickest over 100 metres. Starting to go well and get out in front now is Dominic Waldridge from Exeter City. Slawson in lane 4 has got the fastest entry time. He's the only man to have posted an entry time under 2:08. 2:07.63 his quickest, but with 50 metres to go, it's Dominic Waldridge, 1:33.36, who turns in first. Slawson has made his way up to second. Has he got a big finish to take the win and to guarantee qualification? Not at the moment. It is Slawson in those pink shorts and the black cap, who's about half a length in front. Second place is Slawson in lane 4. They're leaving the rest behind, really. Keep your eye on Jack 2, though, in lane 3, and also in lane 2, Daniel Moore from City of Coventry having a strong finish, but 5 and 4 battling it out for first place. Dominic Waldridge of Exeter City gets first, 2:06.95. That's the quickest time we've had in the pool this morning. Slawson of Wrekin College, 2:07.14 for second, and provisionally Daniel Moore in lane 2 of City of Coventry gets third place. Those results are confirmed. That's all 8 heats of the Men's Open 200 butterfly complete. We now move on to the Women's Open 200-metre butterfly.
And the baton has now been passed to the women then with the 200-metre butterfly heat. This is heat 1.
Take your marks.
So just the 3 swimmers in the pool to kick things off in this event. And 3 from Leatherhead is Libby Harris. Lane 4 from Trafford is Jasmine Stockton. And in 5 from Calne Alpha is Caitlin Fry. These swimmers in the 12-13 category. Of course, the categories are different for the women than they are with the men. The youngest category is 12 to 13 rather than 13 to 14. Of course, there'll be many a 12 to 13-year-old swimmer coming up in the next few heats after this as well. So who's going to set the quickest time in the first heat for that age category? Certainly going out strong, Libby Harris in lane 3 of Leatherhead. She comes up towards the halfway point. She was the slowest out of the 3 seeds coming into this, 2:34.97. The halfway point, her split time so far, 1:11.35. So she's looking in fine fettle indeed at the moment. She swims in the 12-13-year category. They're actually all 13-year-olds as well. And just a reminder, if you are a parent or guardian of swimmers 13 to 14 years of age, do make sure you go to the Skyline Bar, which is up the stairs here in Ponds Forge, just as you walk out of the glass doors. It's between 12:45 and 1:45 with Fred Furness of Swim England. He'll be talking about the talent pathway, which will be delivered within the 2017 to 2021 cycle. So it could affect your son or daughter. So do get more information about that. Feel free, of course, to ask questions as well with Fred between 12:45 and 1:45. It's on a first-come, first-served basis. So do make sure you claim your seat. And if you want more information about that, there are quite a few people with Swim England tops, and do ask them about it. They'll be able to provide more information about it as well. 25 minutes to go though in this heat, and Libby Harris has got stronger and stronger with every length it seems. She has quite a bit of a buffer separating her and Caitlin Fry, who's currently in second. Jasmine Stockton just a length behind her as well. It's out in front. Well, Leatherhead's Libby Harris will comfortably take this first heat. What will the time be? It'll just be outside her entry time. She comes in on, well, we'll wait for confirmation of it. She definitely touched in first, 2:39.64 for Caitlin Frey, who comes in next, and Jasmine Stockton on 2:40.14. And there's the time for Libby Harris now on the scoreboard, 2:35.87. So just under a second off of her entry time, 0.9 seconds to be precise. Confirmation of the top 3 there in that heat. Let's go now to heat 2. So just getting ready for our second heat to begin, and all our swimmers to be ready for that. And Laura now, thankfully, has joined me in the commentary position. You've got some social media for us as well, Laura.
Yes, we do indeed. Jill Edwards, good luck to Matthew Holland in the 200 fly from William Edwards. Tony Ark as well, good luck to training partners Libby and Connie in the 50-metre breaststroke later on today as well, as we now head down to the racing.
We certainly do. Up next then, heat 2.
Take your marks.
Full pull down for this one. In lane 0 from Oldham is Ella Price. And 1 from City of Leeds is Ella Cooper. 2 from RTW Monson, Hannah Lambert. Millie Turner of City of Leeds goes in 3. In 4 from Chalfont is Olivia Lee. Amy Hood of City of Coventry goes in 5. In 6 from Stockport Metro, Madeline Parkinson. Beatrice Clover of Warrington Warriors is in 7. In 8 from Northampton is Ella Poole. And Jasmine Sheffield of Leicester Sharks is in 9. Very even stuff indeed, particularly in the central 4 lanes, coming up towards the first 100-metre mark. Lane 3, Emily Turner of City of Leeds is the one who slightly leads things just ahead of Olivia Lee of Chalfont in lane 4. They are indeed the front two as they turn for the second 100. Amelia Turner, the only one they get a split time under 1:11 at the halfway point, and she qualified for this event with a time of 2:32.61 with the entry. Of course, with the entry times, most of them do reflect PBs. A lot of them also just reflect season's best as well, so it's not necessarily an accurate reflection of what these swimmers are going to swim today, as we've seen already early on in the first couple of events in this session. And they're ready to turn for home. It's been a good 50 this from Amy Hood in lane 5 from City of Coventry, who's now found herself in second position, just half a second behind Emily Turner of City of Leeds, who does indeed turn in first position. Also a good last 50 incoming from Ella Poole in lane 8 of Northampton, and in lane 1 as well, Ella Cooper of City of Leeds. So it could be a 4-horse race, potentially even a 5-horse race, with Olivia Lee of Chalfont in lane 4 trying to scurry her way through the centre. What a back 50 this has been, though, from Ella Poole of Northampton, who had quite a bit of momentum off the wall coming into this final 50, and she's used it well and truly to her advantage. The pendulum eventually swinging in her favour in lane 8, and she will get the quickest time of 2:30.52 as well, and comfortably ahead of the rest of the pool, who begin to scuttle in now, one after another. Amy Hood in second on 2:32.67, and in third indeed is Ella Cooper of City of Leeds. Another impressive back 50 there, coming this time from inside lane on the left in lane 1. Confirmation then of the top 3 will be coming on the scoreboard now, and there it is for heat 2. Up next, heat 3.
A clean start then from all 10 swimmers in the pool, and going out very strongly indeed is lane 2. Lane 3 with the quickest reaction from the gun. The swimmers then in this heat. Lane 0, Olivia Walsh of Warrington Wanderers. Lane 1, Kimberly Burston, Oldham Aquatics. Lane 2, Eleanor Bainbridge of Ellesmere. Lane 3, Ruby Palmer, City of Leeds. Lane 4, Abby Lowe of Chelmsford. Callie Ramshaw swimming in lane 5 for Doncaster Darts. Samantha Tan goes in lane 6 for Barnet Copthall. Emma Erskine for Nova Centuria swims in lane 7. Chloe Hurst in lane 8 for Borough of Kirklees. And Jessica Woodward of Hatfield completes the field in lane 9. And Ruby Palmer, quickest off the block, and indeed quickest down the first 50 as well. 31.22, she touches in at the 50. Closely followed by lane 2, just next to her, Eleanor Bainbridge, who touches in 31.58. Of course, pacing on a 200 fly, one of the toughest events in the pool, is absolutely crucial. And you see the likes of Chad Leclos going out from the gun and trying to lead from the front for the entire race, and gradually getting hauled back in. Sometimes he makes it, sometimes he doesn't. It's always thrilling to watch. Ruby Palmer then, about a body length at the moment over Abby Lowe in lane 4, of course, the fastest swimmer on paper in this heat. Time entered of 2:29.90. Ruby Palmer, 2:30.06 her time here. And at the moment, she's still in control and enjoying a lead over those next to her, including Ruby Palmer. And it looks as though it'll be Callie Ramshaw touching in third as well. So eyes on those centre lanes then as they come down the final 50. And this is absolutely when a 200 fly is beginning to bite. Now into that final 25 metres. Swimmers now breathing almost every stroke. The final 25, the chance now to put your head down and go for that wall. But the lungs are burning, the arms are screaming. Coming now up to the wall. Ruby Palmer still enjoying just a slender lead over Abby Lowe, but it's a strong finish from the swimmer in lane 4. Slight glide into the wall, but Ruby Palmer gets the touch. 2:27.02 for her. Abby Lowe of Chelmsford, second place in this heat, 2:27.69. Callie Ramshaw, 2:28.75, touches in third. As ever, we'll wait for the official results to be confirmed up on the scoreboard. And we move on now to Heat 4. Nice clean start then in heat number 4 of the women's 200-metre butterfly here this morning. In lane 0, Ella Bergen-Williams of Oldham. Lane 1, Lauren Harrison, City of Peterborough. Katie Chambers swims for St Felix School in lane 2. Emily Hames goes for Enfield in lane 3. Chantal Waugh of Doncaster Darts swims lane 4. Elizabeth Hawkard of Kingston Hull goes in lane 5. Lane 6, Molly Quelch of Team Mercia. Lane 7, Elise Collins of Chesterfield. Sophia Soteru of Soundwell goes in lane 8, and Sophie Murray swims for Barnet Copthall in lane 9. And it's a very fast start indeed from Emily Hames of Enfield in lane 3. That pink costume out in front with that purple hat. Touching in 31.15 at the 50. Molly Quelch up there as well after the first 50. But certainly the 200 fly, a tough event and one in which leads can change very quickly as swimmers tire. At the moment, though, Emily Hames looking very strong indeed over the first 100. 107.62 at the wall. And Quelch still up there in second, 109.10. And lane 9, Sophie Murray, one of the slowest entry times into this heat, is going very well indeed. In the lane closest to the spectator stands 109.17 for her at the 100. Still then, Emily Hames out in front. We're seeing again another heat where lane 3 really makes this race their own. She touches at the wall 145.19. Sophie Murray now just moving up slightly. She takes second spot from Quelch, who remains in third, and it's these three as they come to the wall. Hames of Enfield then into the last 25 metres. She's almost breathing every stroke now, trying to get as much oxygen into her lungs as she can. The legs will be burning, but she has made this race her own, gone out for it from the start. And she finishes now touching in 2:25.05. Fantastic swimming from her. Some 4 seconds quicker than her entry time as well. Sophie Murray. A good swim from lane 9, touching in second. Chantal Waugh came through. Molly Quelch there to take the third spot in that heat. The results should be confirmed soon up on the scoreboard. Perhaps a few gremlins in the technical system. We'll just wait to see if we can get an official confirmation up on the scoreboard before moving on to our next heat. You cannot underestimate how difficult this event is, especially a long course event. So official result then up on the board, and we move on to heat 5.
Here we go then with heat 5. Oh, surpassing the halfway point in this event. In lane 0 from Stockport Metro is Leia King. In 1 from Exeter City, Charlotte Emery. Lane 2 from Hartlepool, Katie Laban. In 3 from Colchester is Abby McCarthy. And Yasodi of City of Sunderland goes in 4. In 5 from Retford, Natasha Utley. Lane 6 from City of Oxford, Dorothy Goodgame. Lane 7 from Borough of Stockton is Leonie Jones. And completing a double dose of Borough of Stockton swimmers is Faye Rogers in 8. And in lane 9 from Southport, Kate Forster. Good start being made in lane 2 from Katie Laban of Hartlepool. Then, as ever with this sort of stage in the event with the heats, we see a big cluster of age categories present in the pool. And it's a girl in the 16-year category, Katie Laban, one of 2 in that category, who is leading the way at the moment. The other one is Dorothy Goodgame in lane 6, who currently is just behind in around 3rd or 4th position. There's around a line of 3 or 4 queuing up behind Katie Laban, all poised to try and pounce into 1st position. Lane 8, Faye Rogers of Borough of Stockton is one of them in the luminous pink costume, and she's going along at a very nice pace indeed at the moment. Also in the same colour in lane 6 is Dorothy Goodgame, who will turn in the last 50 metres, still knocking around those front 5 positions. Likewise, lane 1, Charlotte Emery of Exeter City. And poised in the middle of them, we haven't mentioned Abby McCarthy yet of Colchester in lane 3, but she is certainly not out of the argument. In we come then towards the final 30 metres. Katie Laban in lane 2 already into the last 25, as is now in lane 8, Faye Rogers of Borough of Stockton. Those 2 have been at the top all the way, but who can join them in pursuit of those fastest times? Charlotte Emery in 1 of Exeter City, and also Abby McCarthy in lane 3 of Colchester. Still up there, Dorothy Goodgame in City of Oxford. They're all battling for 3rd now, because 1st will be taken by Katie Laban of Hartlepool. 2nd, Faye Rogers of Borough of Stockton. So close for 3rd. We'll have to look at the scoreboard for that. Abby McCarthy of Colchester on 2:28.41, coming ahead just of Dorothy Goodgame of City of Oxford, who touches in 4th. Confirmation of those results coming up very soon on the scoreboard. Nothing should change in that one, though. Katie Laban of Hartlepool out quickest from the front and touching in 1st as well. Confirmation of that. She is top of the scoreboard there. Up next, heat 6. And away we go. Full complement once again here, which is always great to see. In lane 0 from Enfield, Megan Malloy. In 1 from Doncaster Darts, Molly Chambers. In 2 from Northampton, Isabel Hume. Lane 3 representing Greenwich Royals is Emily Watts. Frances New of Dulwich goes in 4. In 5 from Southampton, Kate Baxter. Representing Doncaster Darts in 6 is Hannah Noonan. In 7 from Hatfield, Sarah Kalaska. In 8 from Cleethorpes, Ella Bainbridge. And Kate Mills of City of Oxford goes in lane 9. Of course, we had the picture tweeted by City of Oxford last night of their team having a nice meal in the restaurant before the session had even finished last night. They'd gone early to go and get food in the Friday night in Sheffield, but it's certainly not slowing down their performances at this morning so far. Some good heat swims from City of Oxford, and there's a big contingent of them as well here in the Steel City, supporting their swimmers as they go in quest of finals places tonight. Currently leading the way, though, coming up towards the halfway point. Lane 8, Ella Bainbridge of Cleethorpes is up there, as is in 7, Sarah Klavaska of Hatfield as well. And just inside of them is Hannah Noonan in lane 6 of Doncaster Darts. Also worth keeping an eye on lane 1, and Molly Chambers, also of the South Yorkshire Club, who is ticking along very nicely indeed as well. More or less swimming on her own on this side of the pool, nearest to me in the commentary position, because it's the far side really where most of the activity is going on towards the front, being spearheaded by Ella Bainbridge of Cleethorpes, who will turn first for the final 50. A very strange shape to the pool as we go into the final quarter of this race. Certainly not your stereotypical V-shape that we've spoken about so many times in the last few days. Ella Bainbridge doing superbly well in 8, and Molly Chambers in one of Doncaster Darts, poised to be your front two coming towards the finish. Also in lane 9, Kate Mills of City of Oxford, really mounting a strong challenge. She's certainly kept her strokes consistent all the way through this race, and it may see her good enough to finish in the top 3 as well. She's in the senior category of the 17 years and over, but nonetheless she'll be looking to set the benchmark there. In lane 8 then, Ella Bainbridge of Cleethorpes in first, led from the start and manages to hold on right to the last as well. 2:24.22 her time. In second spot, Molly Chambers of Doncaster Darts. Again, a good race coming up for lanes 8 and 1. In third position is Kate Mills in lane 9 of City of Oxford. She gets there in the end ahead of Sarah Klavaska of Hatfield, who is in fourth position. Confirmation, as ever, of those 10 scores in ascending order will be incoming in a moment's time on the scoreboard. And there we have it, Ella Bainbridge, top of the tree for Cleethorpes, 2:24.22. Let's move on now to heat number 7.
Take your mark.
A clean start from all 10 swimmers in the pool then for heat 7 of the women's 200-metre fly. In lane 0, Tilly Hanson Hamilton of Guildford City. Lane 1, Alea May Webb of Exeter City. Lane 2, Charlotte Dodson of Prescott. Debbie Cocking swims in lane 3 for Rotherham Metro. Kiara Walsh of Guildford City in lane 4. Lane 5, Catherine Lees of Wickham District. Lane 6, Sophie Lawrence of Amersham. Lane 7, Catherine Nouse of Swindon Dolphins. Lane 8, Oriana Knoll of Plymouth Leander. And in lane 9, Melody Jones of Borough of Stockton. Going out very strongly indeed then is lane 3, Debbie Cocking of Rotherham. In that green and black suit in the centre of the pool. Just to the left of the golden lanes in the middle. Also going well in lane 9 as well, Melody Jones. She touches in second and only just. 1:07.2 then, the split at the 100-metre mark. Charlotte Dodson also in lane 2 going well, perhaps being pulled along by Debbie Cocking's pace she's setting here. And now coming through strongly on this third 50 is Webb of Exeter City in lane 1. She was 4th at the halfway point on the 100. Now she's moving through. Debbie Cocking then doesn't look like she's tiring here. At the moment, lane 9, 3, 2 and 1 are the ones to watch. And so turning first then, still going Debbie Cocking's way this heat. 1:45.4 at the 150 point in the race. Alea May Webb moving up there from lane 1 into second place. She'll be challenged strongly though by Charlotte Dodson next to her. Coming through now on this last 52, lane 6, Sophie Lawrence, 5th at 150, and now potentially moving through here and could take the win. A strong finish though indeed from Alea May Webb in lane 1 of Exeter City. And it is these 4 or 5 swimmers coming into the wall to touch at once. Sophie Lawrence gets it, 2:25.1. Kiara Walsh came through very, very strongly indeed, 2:25.38. Alea May Webb then just touched out in third place. The results up on the scoreboard as we move on to heat number 8. Heat 8 then underway now. In lane 0, Millie Ward of Brentwood. Lane 1, Charlotte Wynne-Jones, City of Milton Keynes. Lane 2, Alyssa Grattan of Lincoln Vulcans. Lane 3, Charlotte Bell of Barnet Copthall. Sophie Whelan swims in lane 4 for Chelsea and Westminster. Lane 5, Sophie Barker, City of Sheffield. Russia Mundell, lane 6 for City of Manchester Aquatics. Holly Richards swims for Western-super-Mare in lane 7. Her teammate Megan Richard swims in lane 8. And Emily Milton goes for Romford Town in lane 9. And it's slightly nerve-wracking there at the start for these swimmers. When you're called up onto the block and then have to stand down again, it is a nervous time. And you have to just regather yourself and focus. And that's exactly what these ladies have done. It doesn't look like that start, though, has phased Millie Ward in lane 0 at all. She's gone out very strongly indeed, 31.4 over the first 50. And now touching in 107.82. Of course, by virtue of being in lane 0, her entry time here is one of the slowest of the heat, 2:27.91. But that is not phasing her one bit here. She has about half a body length lead or so over lane 2, Alyssa Grattan. It is these two leading the field as well, coming through nicely now in lane 5. Those middle lanes, of course, have the faster entry times. Sophie Barker at City of Sheffield, of course, home water for her, home soil. She's not had to travel far to race here. Her time on entry into this heat, 2:25.46. But we'll just wait to see if Sophie Whelan can come through here. 2:24.71 is the time she's entered. At the moment, though, some work to do. And still, we have the lead with Millie Ward in lane 0 for Brentwood. Has she gone out too quickly? This is when it will start to bite in this final 25 metres. And the fly and die tactic truly comes to fruition. Not for Millie Ward, though. She's still just about eking every last bit out of her stroke to stay in front. Lane 5 finishing strongly too. Millie Ward gets the touch, 2:26.56. Sophie Barker takes second from lane 5, 2:26.69. Charlotte Bell takes that third spot for Barnet Copthall, 2:26.81. Your top 3, provisionally, we'll wait for them to be confirmed on the scoreboard right now, the official result. And we move on to our final heat. Our final heat then, heat 9 of the women's 200 metre butterfly. In lane 0, Jo Hobsley of Barnet Copthall, just 13 years old. Ella Farley swims in lane 1 for Exeter City. Basildon Phoenix swimmer Rebecca Howell goes in lane 2. Lane 3, Lucy Gotter, City of Oxford. Lane 4, Kira Noon, City of Bristol. Lane 5, Lauren Grice of City of Bedford. Lane 6, Tilly Arand of Doncaster Darts. Lane 7, Jade Young, Nova Centurion. Millie Emmons goes for the City of Cambridge in lane 8. And Thalia Porras of Mount Kelly swims in lane 9. So we're seeing swimmers win heats from any lane in the pool today. Lane 0, lane 9, they're all doing it. Today, though, it looks like lane 4 is just about getting a head in front here. Lane 1 also going very well indeed. Ella Farley of Exeter City did touch first at that 50, 31.2, her split. Lauren Grice in lane 5, she touched second at the 50, now third though to Kira Noon, the swimmer in lane 4, and your fastest entry time here of 2:24.64. Lauren Grice entered on a 2:25.03. Ella Farley on a 2:27.48, and it's these three swimmers at the moment who are really coming through. And now we are seeing the strength of Kira Noon in the centre of the pool in that pink and purple swimsuit. Coming up to the touch on the third 50. Here's where the strength of a swimmer really shows on the third 50. where things get very tight indeed. You can often get a second wind, a second burst of energy down that last 50 because you know you can sense that wall is getting closer. Kira Noon then not holding anything back in this heat. Coming through nicely in to second place as well as Jo Hobsley from lane 0. Second at the touch. And just creeping up on Kira Noon and just eating up her lead as well. Noon, though, coming up into the final 10. Now the final 5 metres of this 200-metre butterfly heat. And she will take the win from lane 4. 2:24.42. 2/10 quicker than her entry time. Jo Hobsley takes second place from lane 0. 2:26.16. And Rebecca Howe in lane 2 takes third place. 2:27.08. As ever, we'll wait for those results, and there they go on the scoreboard. Your official results: Kira Noon, Jo Hobsley, Rebecca Howe, the fastest 3 swimmers in that heat. As we move on to our next event with Jono.
And indeed it is time for our next event, the men's multi-class 200-metre freestyle. This is heat 1 of 2.
Take your mark.
So 2 heats then in the men's multi-class 200-metre freestyle. The swimmers vying for spots in the finals tonight for this event. And of course, multi-class swimming is para swimming, and I'm sure a vast majority of you here in Ponds Forge and watching on the live stream as well will be now aware after being here this week. Swimmers ranked in different classifications depending on their physical impairment. These swimmers all in the S14 category, however, and in fact all the swimmers in this event are in the S14 category, so not so much is about points. Time's just as relevant, as all these swimmers are directly against each other. Of course, S14 swimmers less about the physical impairment, it's more about the processing of information for these swimmers. Good start being made though, coming up towards the halfway point. Angus Leckenby of Scarborough in lane 6. The rest of the pool looks like this. In lane 1 from Orpington is Billy Birchmore. In 2 from Cockermouth is Evan Holt. In 3 from Orion is Aaron Gilbert. In 4 from Chippenham, James Edwards. Joshua Fairchild of City of Coventry is in 5. Of course, we mentioned Angus Leckenby in 6. And to his left in 7 from Littlehampton is Caleb Grace. So straight shootout this one, just like your bog standard race. In lane 6, Angus Leckenby of Leckenby is still the one in front, but you can see the pursuit beginning to squeeze up now between lanes 5 and 4. Joshua Fairchild and James Edwards respectively, who are up in those top 3 positions as we now turn for the final 50 metres. So of course the times will trigger the points, and with all these swimmers aiming to get as close as possible to the S14 world record, it is more or less the first one to touch in will probably get the highest amount of points. Lane 4, you can see James Edwards beginning to try and pull away. Those 3 are definitely looking very good indeed for tonight's final. With lane 6, Angus Leckenby still hovering around in second spot. Joshua Fairchild trying to push his way in towards the wall. James Edwards in first then, 2:17.69. Any score around 600 is a good score. 602 for James Edwards. 593 for Angus Leckenby as he comes in second, just 0.25 seconds ahead of Joshua Fairchild, who has to settle for 590 points, but that's not too bad at all. 542 for Evan Holt and 510 for Caleb Grace. Confirmation of those 7 swimmers' scores will be coming up very soon on the scoreboard now, ranked of course as they're all in the same category with time and points concurring with each other. James Edwards top with 602 multi-class points. And we're now ready for our final heat in this event, Heat 2.
Just relax, swimmers, please. Take your mark.
So once again, all 10 of the swimmers in the S14 category, so straight shoots out for the wall in this event, which of course is not necessarily the trend with multi-class swimming. Usually you do see a lot of different classifications, and of course with the freestyle as well. It's always fascinating to see some of those in the lower classifications, but due to the physical impairments, maybe they have to do a breaststroke instead, or a backstroke, or even the butterfly as well. But of course with the S14 swimmers being the better of the physically impaired, they are very much doing the front crawl and very well as well. You can see in lane 4, Sol Bressett of Tigers jersey currently leading the way at the point of the arrow. Let's have a look at the rest of the pool then. Lane 0 is Ryan Potter of Blackpool Aquatics. In 1 from Brompton is George Eldridge. In 2 from Adwick, Ben Webster. Lane 3 from Basildon and Phoenix, Callum Hodgson. In 4, the leaders we mentioned, Sol Bressett of Tigers jersey. In 5, in 2nd, Adam Roebuck of Carradon. Lane 6 from City of Salford, Jack Sheffield. In lane 7 from Woking, Connor Lockwood. In 8 from Marlborough, Peter Harper. And in 9 from Leicester Penguins is Connor Freeman. So of course we saw just over 600 points in that last heat there for James Edwards. And at 600 multi-class points is sort of what you had to get in order to be the British Summer Champs last week, which also coincided with the trials for the World Para Championships coming up in Mexico on the 30th of September. It's a very big autumn ahead indeed for our para swimmers. We've seen already what a lot of our GB swimmers can do at the World Championships. The World Para Championships will be very interesting as well. GB coming out on top in the first ever World Series events, which was 5 swims across the world. One of the swims was here in Ponds Forge in April. And overall, Team GB came out on top. So a big autumn ahead for this nation. And Sol Bressett with a big swim here as well in lane 4. Coming in now with 620 points, the best we've seen so far. Of course, all these swimmers in the S14 category, so they will not beat that. 2:16.33 then, Sol Bressett's time. And he will go into tonight's final as the quickest qualifier. But of course, it's certainly not home and hose for all these swimmers. Just because they're in the fastest heat does not mean they'll necessarily be in the finals tonight. And that's exactly why Peter Harper, you can see now coming in lane 8, is giving it all he's got. He came into this event with a time of 2:38.43. He will be over that, but 337 points sees him home. He will not be in 10th position with that time. Connor Freeman coming in now. Let's hear it then, ladies and gentlemen, for Connor Freeman coming in now, completing that second heat. He came into this event with 3:04.03. He'll just be outside that as well, but 242, not too bad for Connor Freeman of Leicester Penguins as he completes that second heat. And confirmation of the times, and more importantly the points there, again going hand in hand with each other for that second heat. So now, ladies and gentlemen, for the women's multi-class 200 metre freestyle, this is heat 1 of 1. So, of course, this being the only heat in this event, the winner of it will take the gold medal. Simple as that. Both the swimmers in the S14 category, so hammer and tong against each other in this. There'll be no silver medals. It's all about gold. And in the pool here, lane 4 from Basildon and Phoenix is Charlotte Hartin. And in lane 5 from City of Derby, Megan Neve. Again, with them both in the same category. The points meaning just as much as the time, and vice versa. So Charlotte Hartin coming into this with an entry time of 2:29.51, which is around 8 seconds quicker than that of Megan Neve. But of course, it can all change in the pool. 8 years separating them two as well. Charlotte Hartin, 22 years of age this year, and Megan Neve reaching 14 years of age in 2017 as well. So of course, Megan Neve hoping to have a big future in para swimming from the City of Derby. Coming towards the halfway point then, it is going to paper so far, with Charlotte Hartin leading the way in the orange cap on Basildon and Phoenix. And turning behind her is Megan Neve. So around a 3.5 second gap at the moment. It's doable for Megan Neve, but she's going to need a lot of support as she comes into the final 80 metres or so. Charlotte Hartin looking very good indeed for the gold at the moment. Basildon and Phoenix swimmer. Of course, Basildon and Phoenix so successful in the East region. Always knocking around the top 5 positions out in the clubs down in that neck of the woods. And Charlotte Hartin looks as if she's going to bag a goal for them here going into the final 50. It's going to take something very significant indeed from City of Derby's Megan Neve, as she will now begin to turn into the final 50 metres. So here we come then, on to the home straight. Charlotte Hartin looking very good indeed on the road for the podium. As I say, just one of these two swimmers will be getting a medal from this one. Only the gold at stake here. Charlotte Hartin looking very much home and home. Still giving it a good kick, not getting complacent at all. And of course, not only should be looking for the gold, she'll be looking to get some new PBs as well and get around the 500 point mark. She comes in now on 557, so it's gold then for Charlotte Hartin on 2:28.4. And coming in now, Megan Neve. Of course, we knew that she was going to come second anyway, both in the same category, but 461 points, not bad at all. 2:38.04, just outside the PB as well. So it's gold for Charlotte Hartin then. Confirmation of that on the scoreboard now, but a big well done to those two swimmers. So very soon we'll be moving on to the splash and dash events with the 50-metre breaststroke coming up. The men will be first, and then we will have the women. And we'll pass over now to Dave for our next event.
Thank you very much, Jono. Yes, it is time to move on to the men's open 50-metre breaststroke. 9 heats in total. So let's welcome the athletes for heat number 1. Just 3 athletes in this opening heat of 9 then. In lane 3 from South Bournemouth is Drew McGregor. Ned Sharp from Skipton in 4. Farron Gregory of Taunton Dean in 5. And not a lot between these in terms of the opening times, but it's the best start from Ned Sharp of Skipton. 33.73 on the way in, and he's leading the Arrowhead here. Of course, we're looking for the fastest qualification times to get into the final later. And at the moment, it's Ned Sharp in the middle in that black cap who's in the lead, but a strong finish in 3 from Drew McGregor. Will he get there first? It is Ned Sharp from Skipton. 33.59 from Drew McGregor. Farron Gregory picks up 3rd in heat number 1. Now time for heat 2. Away first time in Heat 2. In lane 0, Luke Ibbison. In 1, Harvey Freeman. 2, Louis Hayes. 3, Danny Skinner. 4, Jake Reynolds. 5, Cameron Singh Manda. 6, Ryan Zhao. 7, Jacob Davis. And 8, Ethan Grace Riches. And wowee, what an opening 25 metres. It is very close, but over on the far side in lane 8, Ethan Grace Riches going very well. Can he hold on through the middle now? In lane 5, Cameron Singh Manda going well, as is Jake Reynolds in lane 4. The last 5 metres, the last few strokes, and it's won from 7. Jacob Davis from Atlantis, 32.65 from Ethan Grace Riches of Lincoln Vulcans, who takes second, and Jake Reynolds in the middle there of Bolton Metro takes third provisionally as we await the confirmation. There it is, Davis from Grace Riches from Reynolds, and we quickly move on to Heat 3. Pravin Mahendra Kumar goes in lane 0, Amir Castronovo in 1, Oliver Coote in 2, Jackson O'Rourke 3, Nathan Smith 4, Elijah Zavada 5, Reed Jones 6, Louis Ngoyan 7, Oliver Latham 8, and Christopher Sims in 9 as we reach the halfway point in heat number 3. Going well in lane 5 is Zavada, but next to him, actually in lane 3, it's Jackson O'Rourke going well too. On this near side, Mahendra Kumar in lane 0 could push them here, but it's lane 3, Jackson O'Rourke looking strong towards the end. What great swimming we've had so far. Just taking it is Jackson O'Rourke in 32.78 from Nathan Smith. Next to him in lane 4, second, and Zavada of Tennington takes third place in 32.9. We move on to Heat 4. In lane 0 goes Cameron White, Ben McAvoy in 1, Lewis Jones in 2, Jack Plummer in 3, Max Twining in 4, Jacob Elliott 5, Louis Metzeler in 6, Dakota Ravatali in 7, Adam Hardy 8, and Sam Shepard in 9. It's been fantastic racing so far. Currently leading is Jack Plummer in 3, but strong in the second half of the race is Jacob Elliott going in 5. On the near side here in 0, Cameron White pushing the leaders, but it's looking like Jack Plummer will take this, although a strong finish in 5 from Jacob Elliott. 31.86. He breaks that 32-second barrier from Jack Plummer, 32.05. Max Twining in the middle there, picking up third, flying through the heats there. That was 4 of 9. And there is the confirmation there. Elliott from Plummer, from Twining. And we move on to Heat 5. Charles Hallett goes in lane 0, Samuel Bryan in 1, James Duncan in 2, Andrew Orr in 3, George Barnes in 4, Rio Quarry in 5, Ali Kangir in 6, Christian Tai in 7, Arnold Martin 8, Charles Rennie 9. And it's the men in 6 and 7 doing the damage at the moment, certainly in the first half of the race, but coming on strong is James Duncan in the yellow cap in lane 2 towards the end, but lane 5, Rio Quarry looking strong. It's between 5, 2 and 6. 6 gets there in the end. Ali Kangir, strong last 10 metres, takes it by 0.13 from Rio Quarry, and then third place, James Duncan. Time for Heat 6. Heat number 6 in lane 0 goes Dylan Hood, Richard Kozabayev in 1, Ralph Munzer 2, Joel Lange in 3, in 4 Samuel Neal, 5 Daniel New, 6 Campbell Stevens, 7 Robin Austin, 8 Henry Barella, and 9 goes Joseph Moore. It's the two men in the middle, Neal and New, going well. In fact, they're having a superb race. In lane 9, Joseph Moore going well on the far side, but it's lane 5, Daniel New from Campbell Stevens towards the end. This is the quickest heat so far, 30.68. Daniel New takes it in. Stockport Metro take first place. Samuel Neal of Wrekin College, 30.92. Those two both breaking 31 seconds. We move on to heat number 7.
Can we please have Charlotte Hartin to the timing suite as soon as possible, please? Charlotte Hartin to the timing suite. Thank you.
In heat 7, Reese Taylor goes in lane 0, Matthew Greedinus in 1, Robert Lancaster in 2, Adam Frost in 3, Richard Eyre in 4, lane 5 is empty, David Shipman goes in 6, Aaron Bartlett 7, Jack O'Brien 8, and Samuel Peck on the far side in lane 9. Richard Eyre absolutely flying in lane 4, but pushing him close in 3 is Adam Frost, and then in 2, Robert Lancaster as well. What a race between those two, and what a finish from Lancaster. Is it quick enough to take it? Yes, it is. Breaks 30 seconds as well, 29.74 for Lancaster. Richard Eyre in second, and just over 30 seconds, Adam Frost in third. We move on to the penultimate heat, heat 8. In lane 0, in heat 8, is Sydney Fennick. In 1, Ben Harrison. 2, Keenan Young. 3, Jack Blair. 4 is Adam Friendlich. 5, Joel O'Halloran. 6, Toby Mackay Champion. 7, Ina O'Hare. 8, Samuel Chell. And 9, Sean Armstrong. Again, it's the men in the middle, currently in the lead. Let's keep an eye on Jack Blair in 3, who seems to be going well. And in lane 6, Toby Mackay Champion as well. 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's going to be very close indeed at the touch. And quick times as well. 4 men under 30 seconds there. Mackay Champion is awarded first. O'Halloran second. Jack Blair gets third. And 29.77 for Friendlich in 4th place. And we move on to the final heat, heat number 9. Into the final heat then, in lane 0, Richard Carr in 1, Miles Clark, Matthew Rogers in 2, Harry James in 3, Luke Spain 4, Jean-Jacques Charon in 5, Sergei Shet in 6, Samuel Goldrick 7, Callum Richards 8, and Richard Sugden goes in 9. It's lane 4, Luke Spain, who's out by half a length at the moment. A dominated performance from him. In 5, Jean-Jacques Charon in the white cap, currently in 2nd place, but it's a strong finish in 3 from Harry James as well. But touching first, 28.61 is Luke Spain, the first and only under 29 in these qualifiers. Jean-Jacques Charon picks up 2nd place, 29.57. And in lane 6, Sergei Shet is awarded 3rd place with a time of 30.10. That wraps up the men's 50 breaststroke qualifiers. We move on to the heats in the women's open 50 meters breaststroke.
So that event will be coming up very soon indeed. Of course, we mentioned our first medal of the day earlier on in the women's multi-class 200 metre freestyle, and the medal ceremony for that will be coming up very shortly indeed. And this gives us a great opportunity to give you the reminder of SE Swimming. That's your hashtag on Twitter. Keep those coming in. A lot of them coming in today. Too many for us to handle. Do make sure you get in touch. Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony for the women's multi-class 200-metre freestyle. The medal will be presented by Swim England President Anne Ray. The winner of the gold medal. Representing Basildon and Phoenix, Charlotte Hartin. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your gold medalist. We're pleased to have a coach or representative from Wrekin College or Woking to the timing suite as soon as possible, please. A coach or representative from Woking and Wrekin College to the timing suite as soon as possible. I'll pass over to Laura now for our next event.
And so we move on now to our next event, the women's 50-metre breaststroke and heat number 1. Swimming in lane 0 in this first heat, Jess Procus. Lane 1, Nicola Farmer. Lane 2, Libby Bateman, Arkansas. Lane 3, Emily Farr. Lane 4, Olivia Lee. Lane 5, Bethany Smith. Lane 6, Neve Kelly. Lane 7, Constance Vaines. And lane 8, Eva Oldfield, as they come up towards the 25-metre mark with half of this 50-metre splash and dash done. It looks like a very strong start indeed from lane 4. That's Olivia Lee of Mount Kelly. The closest to her in the green suit, Emily Farr, going very well indeed. It'll be between these two for the touch. Also look out for lane 7 as well. Constance Vaines coming through strongly now. She does get it on the touch. 35.51 her time. 35.88 for Olivia Lee. And Eva Oldfield just snatched third there in the dying metres of that race. Official results, as ever, will be displayed on the scoreboard. There they are, Constance Vaines, Olivia Lee and Emily Farr, your top 3 from that heat. We move to heat 2. Heat number 2, swimming in lane 0, Ellie Matthews. Lane 1, Imogen Lambert. Lane 2, Kelsey Geary. Lane 3, Leah Smith. Lane 4, Amy West. Lane 5, Isabella Adams-Howard. Lane 6, Georgia Hill. Lane 7, Emily Wheel. Lane 8, Ilizane Pinfold. Lane 9, Liel Kahaina. And lane 9, Kahaina. Now as they come down through the middle of this pool, we've got in lane 4 going very well indeed, Amy West, as they come up to 10 metres to go, also going well in lane 1 as well. Imogen Lambert coming from an outside lane, potentially to take this heat if she nails the finish. She doesn't quite get there. Georgia Hill stole it there for Street. 35.19, 35.2 for Amy West from lane 4. Imogen Lambert content today with third, hoping that'll be enough to see her through to the finals tonight. The official results up on the board, and we move to heat number 3. Heat number 3 in lane 0, Leah Williams. Lane 1, Delia Hartin. Lane 2, Lucia Grant. Lane 3, Holly Mae Dove. Lane 4, Nadine Smith. Lane 5, Jamie Bulbring. Lane 6, Victoria Dawson. Lane 7, Emily Tomlin-Davis. Lane 8, Kirsten Harvey. And lane 9, Erin O'Meara. And it is the swimmer in lane 9 who's going very well indeed at the moment, as too is lane 1. Often seeing outside smokers really putting it to the swimmers in the middle lanes in these 50-metre heats. Wins can come from absolutely anywhere in the pool. And right now, lane 1, Danielle Harton, looking very strong coming into the wall. Coming through, though, lane 3, Holly May Dove, but she doesn't get the touch. It goes to Erin O'Meara. Let that out from the start. A joint first position as well. Emily Tomlin-Davis from lane 7. And Holly May Dove taking the third place there, 35.30 for our joint winners, Tomlin-Davis and O'Meara. Holly May Dove taking third, 35.46. The official results on the scoreboard. We move to Heat 4. Heat 4 then underway. Lane 0, Enola Williams. Lane 1, Lucy Steer. Lane 2, Lauren Watt. Lane 3, Martha Bradley. Lane 4, Isabella Sheridan. Lane 5, Hannah Edwards. Lane 6, Grace Middleton. Lane 7, Leah Williams. Lane 8, Alyssa Pollux. And lane 9, Ellie Fraser, completing the 10 swimmers in this heat. And looking super strong right now is Lauren Watt. Half a body length on a 50. That is no mean feat, but also coming through strongly. Eleanor Williams in lane 0 as well. Look out for lane 9 too as they come into the wall. Who will get the touch? It is Lauren Watt, 34.62. Martha Bradley snuck in there as well, 35.38. And again, we see a joint touch there for third position. Ellie Fraser and Eleanor Williams, the two outside lanes, 35.49 to touch equal third in this heat. Lauren Watt, Martha Bradley, Fraser and Williams then. Your top 4 in this heat. Official results on the scoreboard. We move to Heat 5. Heat 5 then, just reaching the halfway point in these heats of the 50 breaststroke. Lane 0, Jennifer Green. Lane 1, Anna Ashworth. Lane 2, Madeline Payne. Lane 3, Leah Hamilton. Lane 4, Abigail Ashworth. Lane 5, Jasmine Nobbs. Lane 6, Eliza Powell. Lane 7, Alice Hockey. Lane 8, Alice Chan. Lane 9, Zoe Bryce. The 10 swimmers in this heat number 5. And it's looking very tight at the moment as they come into the last 15 metres or so. Lane 2 looking strong, Madeline Payne, as is lane 6 as well, Eliza Powell, as they come up into the touch. It is Eliza Powell who'll get it, 34.45 for her. Alice Chan going well too, 34.87 for second spot. Madeline Payne of Teddington snatching that third spot in this heat, 35.19 for her. Your official results on the screen, and we move on to Heat 6. Heat number 6 cleanly underway. Lane 0, India Boyd. Lane 1, Lauren Scott. Lane 2, Georgina Butler. Lane 3, Sophie Huggan. Lane 4, Abigail Parkinson. Lane 5, Freya Cole. Lane 6, Sophie Payne. Lane 7, Charlotte Hume. Lane 8, Alexandra Matukic. And lane 9, Lydia Smith. As they come up into the final 15 metres of this race, it's India Boyd who's had a very strong start indeed. So has Georgina Butler as they come into the wall under the flags indicating 5 metres to go. Lane 1 coming through now as well. Lauren Scott, keep your eyes on the pool. Lydia Smith, Alexandra Matuk and Charlotte Hume there, your top 3. Hume snatching the victory there from India Boyd in 0. 34.77, 35.05 and 35.08 for the top 3 swimmers. Charlotte Hume, Alexandra Matushik and Lydia Smith. Very close heat, that one. Official results as ever on the board, and we move to Heat 7. Heat 7 underway. Lane 0, Emily Morgan Hughes. Lane 1, Isabella Rose Berlin. Lane 2, Claire Collins. Lane 3, Ellen Stone. Lane 4, Ashley Ransom. Lane 5, Rachel Bowen. Lane 6, Ellen Scholes. Lane 7, Lucy Moores. Lane 8, Bethany Thomas. And in lane 9, Rebecca Wilson. Brilliant start then for Rachel Bowen, centre of the pool in that blue hat, but coming through strongly either side of her. We have in lane 4 Ashley Ransom and also Ellen Scholes as well. Eyes on lane 1, Isabella Rose Berlin throwing everything at the wall. Ashley Ransom takes the touch, 33.5 for her time. Berlin just sneaks in, 33.83 from an outside lane. Rachel Bowen third, 33.9 for all of those swimmers. Sub 34 then, great swimming for them. The official results up on the board. We move to Heat 8. Penultimate heat of the 50-metre breaststroke. Lane 0, Imogen Mears. Lane 1, Hannah Sheehan. Lane 2, Kate Roodhouse. Lane 3, Eva Vickery. Lane 4, Hermione Rowe. Lane 5, Keelan Fitton. Lane 6, Jessica Gillett. Lane 7, Ellie Grant. Lane 8, Daria Pomakostic. Lane 9, Flora Perkin. And it is that green hat, green suit in the middle, Keelan Fitton, who is really stretching this one out. Also in lane 0, Imogen Mears looking strong as they come under the 5 metres to go. Lane 9 as well, an outside burner. Keelan Fitton then takes victory, 33.89, also dipping under that crucial 34-second mark. Flora Perkin came through very nicely in lane 9 for Newton Abbott, taking second, 34.15, Jessica Gillett. Third placed in that heat, 34.2 her time. Official results on the scoreboard, and we move to Heat 9. Our final heat of the splash and dash here in the 50-metre breaststroke. Lane 0, Chelsea Crabtree. Lane 1, Charlotte Nesta. Lane 2, Rebecca Tarderschleb. Lane 3, Miranda Boer. Lane 4, Brock Whiston. Lane 5, Louise Bush. Lane 6, Hannah Louise Nelson. Lane 7, Emily Gordon. Lane 8, Lily Battersby. And in lane 9, completing the field, Caitlin Lynham. Centre of the pool then, lane 4, the fastest on paper here to qualify. And it is indeed Brock Whiston who seems to be taking this one out. She's been closely challenged, though, in lane 2. It is Brock Whiston, though, who gets the touch from the centre lane. 34.3 for her time. Tuada Schleb, 34.60 for Newcastle. And Miranda Boer in third, 34.91. Fast swimming this morning in those 50-metre breaststroke heats. Official results, as ever, up on the scoreboard now.
Up next then, the men's multi-class 100-metre butterfly. This is Heat 1.
Back to multi-classification swimming then. for the men's 100-metre butterfly heats. 3 heats going in lane 1 here. From Brompton, we have George Eldridge. No swimmer in lane 2. In lane 3, from Ealing, we have Aaron Maddox. From Billingham in 4, it's Adam Wyborn. From Chippenham in 5, it's James Edwards. In lane 6, from Caradon, it's Adam Roebuck. And from City of Coventry, in lane 7, making up the field, it's Joshua Fairchild. First to the turn is Adam Wyborn. Got a mix of S8, S10 and S14 swimmers here. So keep your eye on the times, but more importantly, keep your eye on the scores, because it's going to be the top 10 scores going through to the final later. But this looking a very quick swim from Wyborn in lane 4, the S10 swimmer from Billingham in the white cap, streaking out ahead here in heat 1 of this men's multi-classification 100-metre butterfly. The swimmers going in 3 and 5, either side of him doing well too. 600 points there for Wyborn, the first to touch back. He pumps his fist as well. He's absolutely delighted with that time and that score. But in comes second and third now. Aaron Maddox touches back second. 510 points for him. 492 for Edwards. 428 for Eldridge. 460 for Fairchild. And 453 for Roebuck. We'll wait for those to be shuffled up, ordered and confirmed. And there it is, Adam Wyborn of Billingham, 600 points for first place in heat 1. Aaron Maddox 510 for second, James Edwards 492 for third, and we move on to heat number 2.
And away we go with heat number 2 of 3. Like the 200 freestyle that we saw earlier on, lots of different categories taking part in this multi-class event, as we saw in the first heat. Same applies for the second as well. In lane 0 from Cockermouth is Evan Holt. In 1 from Orpington, Billy Birchmore. In 2 from City of Salford, Jack Sheffield. In 3 from Kingston upon Hull, Liam Spence. Those 4 swimmers all in the S14 category. In lane 4 from Hastings, Callum Pearson. In lane 5 from City of Salford, Craig McNeil. Those 2 in the centre in the S10 category. And then the next 3 are S14 swimmers. Andrew Keeler in 6 from Devonport, Conor Lookwood in 7 from Woking, Louis Hyde in 8 from Watford, with Maximilian Tulloch in 9, an S9 swimmer from Chalfont. So, of course, not about this time around who touches him first, all about the points. In terms of the S10, battle between Callum Pearson in 4 and Craig McNeil in 5. It is the former from Hastings who will come out on top in that. How many points will he get, though? 561 is your answer. And I don't expect too much challenge on that, but Liam Spence gets 581, which is really good going indeed for the S14 swimmer from Kingston upon Hull. So he comes out on top of the S14 swimmers. Callum Pearson second on top of the S10 swimmers. And in terms of the S9 swimmer, Maximilian Tulloch gets 300 points, which concludes that second heat. So we'll get confirmation of those point tallies in ascending order from top to bottom. Liam Spence on 581 is the winner. Callum Pearson second on 561. And Andrew Keeler completes the fastest trio all over 500 points with 536. Coming up very soon indeed will be our final heat, heat number 3. These swimmers now coming up in that exactly what they have to do in order to make the finals tonight. Here we go then with heat 3.
Third and final heat of the men's MC 100 butterfly, going in lane 0 from Isle of Man. It's Benjamin Granger from Littlehampton in 1, Caleb Grace. In lane 2, Finley Middleton from Mount Kelly. Oladesi Adefisan of Beckenham in lane 3. In 4, it's Harry Wellington from Salisbury. Sol Bressett of Tigers Jersey goes in 5. In 6, Joshua Monaghan Coombs of Saxon Crown. Angus Leckenby of Scarborough goes in 7. In 8, Chris Carey from City of Oxford, and Luke Batty's Bolton Metro is in lane 9. 4 classifications of swimmers here, in fact 5, S8, S9, S10, S13 and 14, all looking to accumulate as many points as possible to get themselves into the final later. Harry Wellington of Salisbury going very well in lane 4 though. He's going to stop the clock in first. Sol Bressett outside him in lane 5, looking like he's going to touch back in second. The clock just ticking over a minute now. And 636 points for Wellington in the S13 category. That's an excellent total. 659 for Bressett and 592 for Adefisan, as all of the swimmers within 10 metres now. Last to stop the clock will be Luke Batty of Bolton Metro in lane number 9. And that is all 10 swimmers complete and all 3 heats complete. And we await the final scores on the main scoreboard here at Ponds Forge. And there they are, Sol Bressett from Tigers Jersey, 659 points. First place, Harry Wellington, 636 in second. And Oladesi Adefisan of Beckenham, 592 points, takes third place.
So that concludes the men's multi-class 100-metre butterfly there. And those swimmers going in those 3 heats doing all they can in order to get themselves in position for a place in those final tonight. Next up is the women with the multi-class 100-metre butterfly. This is heat 1 of 1. And away we go then, and just like the earlier women's event with the 200 freestyle, this being the only heat, therefore the winner of this heat will get the gold medal. And this time around there will be silver and bronze medals on offer as well. So in lane 1 from Cockermouth is Drew Stables, in 2 from Wickham District, Katie Crowhurst, in 3 representing Birmingham University, Fifian Butler, in 4 from Basildon and Phoenix, Danielle Hartin, in 5 from Warrington Warriors, Coral Farrell, in 6 representing Halifax, Alia Bakakoglu, and in 7 from Grantham is Hayley Milne. Again, lots of different categories taking part, despite the fact there's only 7 swimmers in the pool here. In 1, S10 swimmer Drew Stables, also in that category, Coral Farrell in 5 and Alia Bakakoglu in 6. In the S9 category, Fifian Butler in 3 and Hayley Milne in lane 7. And Danielle Hartin in lane 4 is in the S14 category. She's already got 1 gold medal under her belt this morning. It'd be fantastic for her if she managed to get a second. What an achievement that would be. She's coming in towards the touch now. Of course, just because she gets there first does not mean she's necessarily got the gold with the points. These swimmers are all seeded based on their times and not on their points in qualification. So 539 points is the early benchmark for Danielle Hartin. Will anyone be able to beat that? Coming in next, Fifian Butler, 502. She falls short, as does Alia Bakoglu on 400. And we're looking particularly for our lower classifications coming in. Hayley Milne's one of them on 409. She fails to beat 539 though, and it's looking very good here for Danielle Hartin. As Drew Stables comes in now, she's the last one to try and beat it. I don't think she will do, though, because it will be less than 400. We'll have to wait for confirmation of that. So Danielle Hartin gets a second gold medal of the day. It's 502 for Fifian Butler, which should be enough for silver. And in third position on 409, Hayley Milne of Grantham. Of course, they're the provisional results. We'll wait for the confirmation up on the scoreboard in a moment or two. Of course, we need Drew Stables' score up alongside that as well, but the medal ceremony will be coming up for that event in the not too distant future, of course, after our next event. So confirmation coming up Drew Stables on 230. Her score has now appeared. And there we go. Danielle Harton, second gold of the morning. Not bad going on a Saturday at all. Vivian Butler second with silver. And Hayley Milne gets the bronze on 409 multi-class points.
The next event in the pool is the Men's Open 100-meter backstroke. Let's welcome heat number 1. Getting through the events thick and fast here today. This is the 9th in the water, the Men's Open 100-meter backstroke. Once again, the heats seeded on times, so just 4 in the pool to begin with. In lane 3 from Cossas is Mitchell Cartledge. In lane 4 from Cirencester, Joseph Giles. Sam Adams from Calne Alpha goes in 5. And making up the field in lane 6 from St. Felix School is Chester Leeming. Very tightly contested heat this has the potential to be. Just 0.14 of a second between all 4 of these swimmers in their entry times. 106.05 is Joseph Giles. On paper, he's the quickest in lane 4. And 106.19 for Chester Leeming from St. Felix School. He is in lane 6, which is the one closest to the main stand for all you lovely crowd here in Ponds Forge today. Reaching the halfway point then, it's the men in 4 and 5, Giles and Adams, who are the early pace setters, and that is the confirmation there. Joseph Giles, 104.88 takes first. Sam Adams of Calne Alpha takes second. Chester Leeming of St. Felix School takes third, and Mitchell Cartledge, should I say, gets fourth. That is the confirmation up there on the screen. We move on to heat number 2. Away we go with heat number 2, a full complement this time. Pierce Greening of Cockermouth goes in lane 0. In 1, Louis Hayes of Sevenoaks. In 2, Matthew Broughton of City of Lincoln. In 3, Christopher Sims of Wickham District. Enfield Squares, Joe Overton goes in 4. Archie Bell of Cheadle in 5. Calvin Fry of Millfield in 6. Fairham's Joseph Davis goes in 7, William Geary of Worcester in 8, and Joshua Skinner of Nova Centurion goes in 9 on the far side here in heat number 2. In lane 2, it's Matthew Broughton going well at the moment. He is leading with around about 25 metres to go. The battle for second place is interesting. Lane 7's going well. That's Joseph Davis. And then coming through the middle as well, in lane 4, Joe Overton on this near side, Louis Hayes. But it's going to be lane 2 to take this second heat. Matthew Broughton, City of Lincoln, cruises home in 103.94. Joe Overton of Enfield gets second place, and Pierce Greening of Cockermouth takes third. That is 2 heats down in the men's open 100-metre backstroke as we just await the confirmation of these results. Important that we get the timings right, of course, because it's the top 10 times that will go through to the 100-metre backstroke final a little bit later on today. Still plenty of heats to come in this Swim England National Summer Meet 100-metre backstroke. And of course, the finals this evening. If you've not got your tickets yet, I suggest you do so. And if you can't join us here in Ponds Forge, then you can watch on the live stream. Matthew Broughton then in lane 2, provisionally the winner, the first swimmer in the 100 backstroke heats to break 1 minute and 4 seconds. And a lot quicker than his entry time of 105.64 as well. So once again, we have this pool and this competition bringing out the best in our competitive swimmers. There it is, the confirmation. Matthew Broughton getting first, Joe Overton second, Pierce Greening of Cockermouth takes third. And we move on to heat 3. Heat number 3, swimming in lane 0, is Daniel Day of Worcester. In 1 from City of Liverpool, Ellis Cleworth. City of Salford's Alexander Morley goes in 2. Giovanni Bordone of Northampton in 3. In lane 4, Caio Tanner of Ellesmere College Titans. In lane 5, it's Jack Bowyer from West Suffolk. Alex Vonks of Haringey in 6. Antonio Nicolau of Hillington in 7. Gateshead and Wickham's Ryan Zhao in 8. And William Ellis of Borough of Stockton goes in 9. And it's been a strong start, a strong first leg from Jack Bowyer in lane 5 in that black cap. Also going well in lane 2 is Alexander Morley, and on this near side Daniel Day from Worcester, an outside bolter. He's given himself a chance as well going into the final 15 metres. However, Jack Bowyer is getting stronger in that dark cap in the middle. The battle for second is hotting up between lane 0, 2 and 8 on the far side. Jack Bowyer 102.16 gets first place. Morley takes second in 103.77, and Caio Tanner there from Ellesmere College Titans in the middle provisionally gets third place in heat number 3 of the men's open 100-metre backstroke. Bowyer from Morley from Tanner are the top 3, but of course positions not meaning anything at the moment. It is all about times. In all of these heats, only the top 10 will progress. So whilst we wait for those results, ladies and gents, remember, keep your social media entries coming in. There are the results. Bowyer from Morley from Tanner. The hashtag is SESwimming. Let us know how you're enjoying this 100-metre backstroke. Next up, heat 4. All out of the water and away in heat number 4 then. William Halliwell of United Bristol in lane 0. Joshua Williams is in 1 from Wickham District. Dara Clark goes in 2 from City of Lincoln. From Dulwich Dolphins, it's Willem Costa in 3. Tom Mitchell in 4 from City of Coventry. West Dorset's Henry Wirral is in 5. Shaquille Giordani of Haringey in 6. Joseph Lenihan of Sutton Cheam in 7. Tom Ward of Borough of Stockton in 8. Plymouth Leander's Jack Plummer is in lane number 9, and this is the tightest heat we've had so far. Lanes 4, 5 and 6. Mitchell, Wirral and Giordani all egging each other on, and also in lane 9, lane 8, Tom Ward going well too. It could be any one of 3 or 4 to take this heat number 4, but it's looking like Henry Wirral in lane 5, just getting himself a head or so out in front, but it's all going to be on the touch. A long arm could take this heat. Who's going to get it first? It is William Costa from Dulwich Dolphins. What a finish from him. 102.88 for first place. 102.89, so 0.01 behind is Henry Wirral from West Dorset in 2nd place, and Shaquille Giordani of Haringey takes 3rd place in heat number 4 of the men's 100-metre backstroke. Now it's time to hand you over to John O'Bell to take you through from heat number 5.
Thank you very much, Dave. And of course, don't forget about the Parents' Talk coming up at 12:45 today in the Skyline Bar upstairs with Swim England's Fred Furness for those parents and guardians of 13 and 14-year-old swimmers. It's a talk regarding the talent pathway that will be delivered within the 2017 to 2021 cycle. Highly recommended, and it'll be done on a first-come, first-serve basis. Confirmation then of Heat 4 coming up on the scoreboard for you there as we now move on to Heat number 5.
Take your marks.
And away we go. In lane 0 from Enfield is Oscar Soulis. In 1 from Northampton is Billy Pettit. 2 from Team Bath, Mark Edmondson. Matthew Ferguson of Woking is in 3. In 4 from Mount Kelly is Charles Hodges. In 5 from City of Bristol is Zachary Derrick. In lane 6 from Windsor is Moritz Hugers. Harry Andrew of Wellingborough goes in 7. In 8 from Modernian is Jack Tremaine. And in 9 from Borough of Kirklees, Samuel Loizu. So leading the way at the moment, really close to 25 minutes to go. As a theme of the week, we've seen some great competitive racing here in Ponds Forge, and it's continuing right into today as well. Evident in the pool with Mark Edmondson just in front, although he's beginning to pull away further and further. 2nd and 3rd will be close. Looks like Mark Edmondson's got this wrapped up though, just over 60 seconds, 101 on the dot for him. 2nd spot, Charles Hodges on 101.93, and 3rd position held by Harry Andrew of Wellingborough, who gets 102.34. Once again, awaiting confirmation of those results up on the score, but it looks like Mark Edmondson, though, will boast the quickest time in that heat. Vast majority of those swimmers in the 16-year category, the only exceptions were Harry Andrew in 7 and Jack Tremaine in 8. Harry Andrew setting quite a good benchmark for the 15-year category. Of course, he's seen a lot of swimmers in that age group come before him, and he's responded really well with 102.34. Of course, that is provisional, and we'll have to get those confirmed on the scoreboard any second now. And there we have confirmation up on the scoreboard for Heat 5. And that means in a few moments' time we'll be able to move on to Heat 6, but not just yet. Just making sure everyone present and correct for that heat. So now it's a perfect chance to remind you to get involved with our competition, hashtag SE Swimming. On offer is some fantastic prizes from our fantastic sponsors, Tia of course, for this Swim England event. All you have to do is send in a picture, a selfie, a group photo, whatever it is, in venue or on the live stream as well. I remember last week, actually, we saw a cracking picture from someone from City of Peterborough at home with their dog, small dog, and they got him kitted in the City of Peterborough kit with goggles and everything. If we can match that, that would be absolutely superb. If not, do make use outside here in Ponds Forge of the big props that we do have for Swim England. And make sure you send those tweets in on hashtag #SESwimming. And we are now ready, ladies and gentlemen, for our next heat. It's Heat 6. So there is no lane 0 in this heat, but in 1 from City of Liverpool is Matthew Pomford. In 2 from Loftus Dolphins, Henry Hickson. Callum Greenwood of United Bristol goes in 3. In 4 from Stockport Metro, Kieran Beard-Jones. Jacob Wars of Warrington Warriors goes in 5. In 6 from Hatfield, James Woodward. Adam Wilkes of City of Leicester is in 7. In 8 from Blythe is Leonids Saragines. And in 9 from City of Milton Keynes is Miles Drabwell. Well on the road to home, that inside the final 25 metres, lane 4, Kieran Beard-Jones of Stockport Metro motoring on towards the wall. In second spot at the moment, very close between 3 and 6. That's Callum Greenwood in 3 and James Woodward in 6. As we now come in towards the wall, touching him first is Kieran Beard-Jones on 57.68. Second spot, 59.63, and completing a fastest trio, all under 60 seconds, is Callum Greenwood of United Bristol on 59.81. That's your fastest 3. Confirmation coming up very soon of Heat 6. And there it is. For now, though, can we please have a coach or representative from City of Liverpool to the timing suite as soon as possible, please. A coach or representative from City of Liverpool to the timing suite. Up next, Heat 7. Ultimate heat of the men's 100-metre backstroke, taken to the pool this time around and hammering the water in 0. From Calfbing is Jacob Carrington. In 1 from City of Oxford, Lewis Gilchrist. In 2 from City of Salford, Nathan Lowe. In lane 3 from Wickham District is Sam Phippen. Nathan Wells of Loughborough University goes in 4. In 5 from Loughborough University also is James Oxborough. Tom Gambold of Millfield goes in 6. In 7 from Borough of Harrow is Ben Hooper. In 8 from Sutton Cheam is Kieran Rutter, and Joshua Smith in 9 of Dunmo Atlantis. And we also got a message as well from the parents of Nathan Wells in lane 4 at the moment, touching at the front, wishing him luck today in his last event of the week, the 100 back, bringing to a close a fab 2 weeks of racing, where he's picked up 3 golds out of 3 events so far, and he'll certainly be hoping to get to the finals as well here. He's coming into the wall now, the 19-year-old, in first position, so he's certainly looking raring to go on this Saturday morning. 58.35 is the winning time, ahead of his Loughborough teammate James Oxborough, who's in second on 59.09, and duly following him in third once again, fastest 3 all under a minute, Sam Phippen of Wickham District, holding that third position on 59.57. Up next will be our final heat, and that is Heat 8. Final heat then, off we go in lane 0. From Ellesmere College Titans is Christopher Hooper. In 1 from Plymouth Leander is Harry Middleton. In lane 2 from City of Peterborough is Matthew Gray. No lane 3 in this event, but in 4 from City of Cambridge is Ruben Decker. James Edmonds of United Bristol is in 5. In 6, representing Northampton, is Daniel Savage. In 7, Mount Kelly's Ben Harrison. In 8 from Bishop Stortford, Daniel Charder. And in 9 from Mount Kelly is Jacob Goodman. Can we please have Haley Milne, Effian Butler and Danielle Hartin to the timing suite as soon as you can, please. That's Haley Milne, Effian Butler and Danielle Hartin to the timing suite. Here we go, the conclusion of the men's 100-metre backstroke heats upon us, with Ben Harrison in first on 59.24. Sound like a broken record, but again, the top 3 all under 60 seconds, with James Edmonds in second this time around on 59.65, 300ths of a second, ahead of Daniel Savage of Northampton. Final time in that event, confirmation on the scoreboard. Ben Harrison top, Edmonds second, Savage third. So there will be a little change to the schedule, as we will have the medal ceremony coming up next. That was already penciled in. But after that, we will have a swim-off, and it concerns the men's 50-metre breaststroke 17 years final. And that will be on the way after the upcoming medal ceremony. So certainly looking forward to that one. That swim-off coming up just before we dip into the women's 100 backstroke. Once again, a shout out for Haley Milne, Effian Butler and Danielle Hartin to the timing suite as soon as possible, please. Here we go then with the swim-off, ladies and gentlemen. It's regarding the men's 50-metre breaststroke 17 years final. This, the swim-off. So here we go then, this for the last place in that final tonight. Samuel Need going here in lane number 4 and Richard Sugden in lane 5 of Wrekin College and Woking respectively. They both got earlier today, 30.92. They have to be separated. Who's going to get to the final? Lane 4 looking very good indeed. Samuel Need towards the wall, gets there on 31.01. It may have gone a little bit slower, but it was still enough for the Woking swimmer to get there ahead of Richard Sugden. So a big well done to Samuel Neal. We'll be seeing him once again tonight with another swim of that men's 50 breaststroke. One last time, please, can Haley Milne, Effian Butler and Danielle Hartin get yourselves to the timing suite as soon as you can? There may be a medal waiting for you, so do make sure you get there as soon as possible, please. Danielle Hartin, Effian Butler and Haley Milne. So we'll have a medal ceremony coming up in the next few seconds or so, with the women's multi-class 100-metre butterfly very much incoming after that thrilling swim off there. Do make sure you show your support for our medal winners. Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony for the women's multi-class 100-metre butterfly final. The medals will be presented by Swim England President Anne Ray. The winner of the bronze medal, representing Grantham, Hayley Milne. The winner of the silver medal, representing Birmingham University, Effian Butler. And the winner of the gold medal, representing Basildon and Phoenix, Danielle Hartin, who is unable to collect her medal at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your medal winners.
We move on then to the women's open 100-metre backstroke and heat 1.
Take your marks.
The first of 9 heats then underway in the women's 100-metre backstroke here this morning on day 4 of the National Summer Meet. Swimming in lane 3, Kate Forster of Southport, lane 4, Ariana Knoll, Plymouth Leander, and in lane 5, Megan Cave of Erithing District. All of these swimmers entered on 109, and just 13 100ths separate them. So they've come in on round about the same time. And as they come to that wall, they are turning pretty much equally as well. Ariana Knoll just about getting in front there, 33.74 at the 50, going out hard for it. And now we just see Megan Cave beginning to make a little bit of progress, eating into that early lead set by Knoll on that third 25. And also Kate Forster coming through very strongly indeed in lane 3, that purple suit and black hat. Fantastic finish here, just turning on the afterburners. A nice surge of speed coming into the wall. Good finish as well. 1:10.21 for Kate Forster, 1:11.15 for Megan Cave, 1:11.93 for Ariana Knoll in third. Official results up on the scoreboard, and we move to heat 2. Heat 2 then underway in lane 1, Abigail Miles, City of Sheffield. Lane 2, Freya Colbert of Grantham. Lane 3, Gerda Vasilias-Karte of Ellesmere. Lane 4, Eve Wright, City of Peterborough. Lane 5, Madeline Soper, Weston-super-Mare. Lane 6, Ella Bargett of Plymouth Leander. Lane 7, Gabrielle Doughty of Tiger Sharks. And lane 8, Gemma Peters, UEA Norwich. Turning first then, Freya Colbert for Grantham, splitting 33.14. These swimmers will know exactly the sort of time they want to be going out in this 50, and indeed the sort of time they want to be coming back in as well. And still going very well in lane 2 is Freya Colbert. She is being challenged though by Vasilias-Karte in lane 3, and Abigail Miles as well in lane 1. At the moment it's this side of the pool closest to us here in commentary that's looking the strongest. Freya Colbert takes it then, 108.07. Gerda Vasilias-Karte, 108.4 in second. And Gemma Peters snuck in there, 109.17 from lane 8 to take third. We move on to heat 3. Heat 3 underway, and we've got swimmers in the 12, 13 and 14 age group racing here, all of whom are entered on 109. Times ranging between 109.2 and 109.5, so just 3/10 separating them. In lane 0, Caitlin Ebbage of Tonbridge. Lane 1, Sophia Button of Team Ipswich. Lane 2, Isabel Harry of Staines. Lane 3, Leah Whitaker of Ealing. Lane 4, Chloe Baxter, City of Leicester. Lane 5, Lottie James of Abingdon Vale. Lane 6, Chiara Tomasello, City of Manchester. Lane 7, Delphine Little, City of Oxford. Amelia Moole swims in lane 8 for Romford Town. Lucia Hearn completes the field in lane 9 for Stockport Metro. And it is Amelia Moole who's gone out the hardest. 32.56 at the wall. Super strong 50. Tomasello in lane 6, just behind 32.98, also dipping under that 33-second mark over the 50. That pink swimsuit and yellow hat of Amelia Moole in lane 8, still going very well as they come under the flags. Of course, the finish on backstroke, vitally important. You've got to spot it. Amelia Moole does just that, 107.68. Chiara Tomasello consolidates that fast first 50 with 108.29, and the second spot in that heat, Leah Whitaker taking third, 108.60. The official results up on the board, and we move to heat 4. Heat 4 then underway. Lane 0, Taylor Williams of Brompton. Lane 1, Bella Hodges of Mount Kelly. Lane 2, Sadie Lucas of Chalfont. Lane 3, Emma Nettleton of Newquay. Lane 4, Esther Grigor of Northampton. Lane 5, Abby Wyatt of Southport. Annabelle McCory swims for Derwentside in lane 6. Imogen Block goes in lane 7. Lane 8, Emily White of Team Ipswich, and Erin Donnelly swims in lane 9 for the Borough of Stockton. It is Donnelly then in lane 9 who's had the fastest opener here, 32.67 over the first 50, 33.11 for Emma Nettleton just behind her. Going very well indeed then, half a second ahead of the field at the halfway mark. Erin Donnelly in lane 9, closest to the spectator, stands. Coming through strongly now though, we do have Emma Nettleton still up there. We've also got Abby Wyatt in lane 5 as well, third at the 15. She'll come into the touch. Can Donnelly hold on to this lead? Punchy finish as well, 107.86 for For the Borough of Stockton swimmer, Abby Wyatt snatches second, 108.49. Bella Hodges comes through very strongly, again in an outside lane for third position, 108.65 her time. The official results on the board as we move to heat number 5. Quite a long hold there at the start, always nerve-wracking for swimmers, especially in that stressful position on the backstroke ledge. But here we go, swimming in heat 5, lane 0, Amy Brown, Bournemouth, lane 1, Kate Baxter, Southampton Dolphins, lane 2, Emily Riddick of Winsford, lane 3, Shannon Robinson of Wolverhampton, lane 4, Charlotte Gudgeon of Leicester Sharks, lane 5, Caris Brealey of Harlow, lane 6, Alexandra Livingston, Carnforth. Alicia Lee swims in lane 7 for Havant and Waterlooville. Sophie Freeman goes for Colchester in lane 8. And Ellie Foster swims for Hastings in lane 9. And once again, we're seeing the outside lanes enjoying the best of the speed over the first 50 here in the 100-metre backstroke. Ellie Foster out quickest, then 32.2 at the wall. And lane 0 closely followed behind her, 32.48. Lane 3 now, Shannon Robinson, one of those fastest on paper coming into this heat, is looking very strong as she comes into the wall. I think lane 9's just done enough to hold on. She has Ellie Foster 106.91 to take this heat. Sophie Freeman of Colchester 107.32 in second, and Shannon Robinson then from the middle lane 107.69 takes third. The official results on the board, we move to heat 6. A nice clean start then in heat 6 of the Women's Open 100-metre backstroke. In lane 0, Kate Rainsford, Team Mercia. Lane 1, Jade Kennerall, Nova Centurion. Lane 2, Claire Burrell of Harpenden. Abigail Shorthouse swims in lane 3 for Hailsham. Nicola Capstick goes for Ulverston in lane 4. Lane 5, Victoria Gannat, City of Leeds. Lane 6, Lauren Stott, Hatfield. Mimi Morley is of the City of Oxford, goes in lane 7. Lane 8, Charlotte O'Leary of Chelsea and Westminster. And lane 9, Elizabeth Woodcock of Preston. It is Mimi Morley is then in lane 7 for the City of Oxford, who's gone out quickest once again, splitting 32.2. 32.6 for Victoria Gannat of City of Leeds and 32.68 for Capstick. They are lanes 4 and 5, of course, coming in on paper with the quickest times here of 108.03 for Capstick, 108.05 for Gannat. Still, though, with lane 7 with Azat, I think she's going to get this touch here. Yes, she does. And with time to spare as well. 106.11 for Mimi Morley Azat of the City of Oxford. Abigail Shorthouse, 107.06 in second. Victoria Gannat of City of Leeds, 107.21. Official results up on the board and confirmed. We move on to heat 7.
Take your marks.
Heat number 7 of the women's 100 backstroke. Let's meet the swimmers in 0. It's Misty Marshall-Welling from Team Bath in 1. From Bishop Stortford, it's Neve James. From Gainsborough in 2, it's Lydia Smith. Gemma Atherley from Tigers Jersey goes in 3. Aaliyah May Webb in 4 from Exeter City. Jane Brown goes in 5 from Newcastle. In lane 6 from Taunton Dean, it's Holly Houghton. From Millfield in 7, it's Pauline Painter. And Prince Rayner of Winchester in 8. Kelly Bone goes in lane 9 from Sutton Cheam. Again, very, very close opening length here in this 100 metres, but in lane 3 it's Gemma Atherley who's out in front just by a head at the moment, and in 4 alongside her Aaliyah May Webb, currently in 2nd place. These two the pace setters. In lane 9, Kelly Bone going quite well, but she's just fading towards the end here as Gemma Atherley is getting more and more powerful. She's going to take 1st place. Aaliyah May Webb is going to get 2nd, 105.12, the quickest time. Jane Brown of Newcastle clocks the 3rd quickest, 106.85. So lanes 3, 4 and 5 get 1st, 2nd and 3rd in Heat 7. And we move on to Heat 8. Here we go then, the penultimate heat. Lane 0, Isabel Hume from Northampton. Lane 1, Molly Dummett from Wigan District. In 2, Charlotte Nestor from Wigan Best. From Plymouth Leander in lane 3, it's Imogen McCalman. Lane 4, Alex Nag of Ulverston. In lane 5, Amelia Peddle from Epping. In lane 6, Megan Maybanks of Dunmow. In lane 7, Eleanor Fest of Carnbray. In lane 8, Josie Carroll of Southport. And from City of Liverpool in 9, it is Holly White as we reach the halfway point. Megan Maybanks in 1st place. There's a Go Meg sign up in the crowd as well. Show your support for these swimmers then. Ponds Forge. In lane 6, it is Maybanks going well from Peddle. In lane 5, just to her right-hand side, and over on the far side in lane 9, Holly White from City of Liverpool going well too. In lane 3, Imogen McCalman is having a strong finish, and she's pushing her way towards the line here and could be doing just enough to take it from Megan Maybanks. It's going to be close at the touch, and it goes to McCalman. A strong finish from about 20 metres out from her is enough for the win. 106.57 her leading time. Megan Maybanks takes 2nd place. And Amelia Peddle confirmed there. 107.08 is enough for 3rd. Next up, Heat 9, the last heat of the 100-metre backstroke for women. Heat number 9 then, the final heat of the Women's Open 100-metre backstroke. Alicia Maestri goes for Bristol Henleys in 0. Megan Dean of Royal Wolverhampton goes in 1. Katie Laybourne in 2 from Hartlepool. Lara Charlton of Rushmore Royals in 3. Emma Cutler in 4 from Mount Kelly. Stockport Metro's Emma Rowson in 5. Sophie Murray of Derwentsside in 6. Grace Wiley of Hatfield in 7. Doncaster Darts, Tilly Arendt in 8, and City of Peterborough's Emma Leslie goes in lane 9. Emma Rowson of Stockport Metro is the first at the turn, and it's the 2 lanes outside her in 2nd and 3rd. Sophie Murray in 6 and Emma Cutler in 4. But Emma Rowson, it's a short lead by a head or so, but in that green suit and blue cap, she's out in front and getting slightly stronger. It is Rowson in 5 from Cutler and Murray in 6. On the near side here in 0, Alicia Maestri going well too, but it's not going to be enough to stop the victory going to Emma Rowson in 5, 105.25. Emma Cutler from Mount Kelly. gets second place from lane 4, and third goes to Sophie Murray from Derwentide. 106.81 is enough for third place. That is all 9 heats completed in the Women's Open 100-metre backstroke.
Thank you for those being pulled by the side, please.
Up next then, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the men's 400-metre freestyle heat. This, heat 1.
Take your marks.
It's the penultimate event of the morning session. After these 8 heats of the men's 400 free, we go on to the women. And they're at 100 free. Of course, the women did 400-metre freestyle the other day, and quite gripping to watch. Of course, one of the longer races, but tactically, certainly one of the more fascinating ones. Take it to the pool then in this first heat. In lane 0 from City of Leeds is Dalton Clapham. In 1, City of Leeds teammate Ethan Sutcliffe. 2 from Team Bath, Jaden Wordley. In lane 3 from Clevedon is Ben Penhale. 4 from City of Leicester is James Bartley. 5 from Stockport Metro is Jolan Bennett. And 6 from Derwentide is Lewis Maxwell. In lane 7 from City of Bristol is Jonah Silk. And in lane 8 from Nova Centurion is Joshua Skinner. So surpass the first 100 metres. And Laura alongside me. I'll have to call you our 400-metre guru now. This is the second set of 400 metres we've seen this week, and you passed on a bit of your knowledge and experience of this event the other day, and obviously same applies here as well. And of course, main feature the other day was the outside lanes really pushing on, and that's what's happening at the moment.
If you've seen some of the swims that I had when I was younger in the 400 metres, I'm not sure you'd call me a guru. Certainly some negative experiences to draw upon. But definitely we are seeing those outside lanes really making the most of the fact that they've just got to focus on their own pacing. They can't be drawn into the battle that we see in the centre lanes where you've got people either side and you're using them as either a marker or as a motivation. The outside lanes can just simply swim at their own pace. Certainly here, 0 and 1, having a good old tussle. Both City of Leeds swimmers as well. These two will be training with each other day in, day out. And it's always tough when you're drawn with a teammate in the lane next to you. It's really tough mentally to deal with because you've got to be the fiercest of rivals in the water. And then when you get out the water, handshake and a hug and a well done, regardless of the result. And it's tough. It's really tough for young kids as well. At the moment, though, Josh Skinner enjoying the best start, 2:10, 7:60 splits at the 200. And then it's Ethan Sutcliffe and Dalton Clapham, City of Leeds, in the other 2 places. These two will know exactly, they'll have done this in training as well. They'll have done pace 100s, pace 50s, pace 200s for this 400-metre event. And they'll have been swimming alongside each other, or indeed perhaps one after the other as well. They will know each other inside out.
And of course we mentioned the City of Leeds pairing as well in 0 and 1, who definitely will know each other very well indeed. As we get towards the latter stages now and the final quarter and a bit of this race, is there a way they can work together if they're next to each other on the same team, or is it completely locking horns, one against the other?
It's a bit dog-eat-dog, I'm afraid. It's very much locking horns, certainly in my experience anyway. When you are a swimmer, it's not in any way, until you get to relays, which are super fun, it's not in any way a team sport. It is very much, it is an entirely individual sport, each to their own, and you've got to just go from the wall. And we're already seeing Ethan Sutcliffe then pulling up away from his teammate Dalton Clapham, and who now has work to do. And across the other side of the pool as well, we've got a real battle going on for the top 3 places.
Absolutely. You can see lane 8 Joshua Skinner of Nova Centurion, who doesn't really have anyone next to him. unlike those on the near side lanes, but he's still managing to go strong towards the top of the pool, of course being aided by the coaches on the far side as well in green. Returning for the final 50. Alongside him is Lewis Maxwell in lane 6 from Derwent's side. And of course, if you're a Derwent's side swimmer, you're always aided by that support at the top there with the inflatable gear. And he's coming in doing very well indeed, coming into the last 50. Also in 1, Ethan Sutcliffe of City of Leeds, that dog-eat-dog that Laura was talking about, just leaving behind Dalton Clapham at the moment. And in 5, Jolan Bennett of Stockport Metro gearing himself in as well. Dalton Clapham, though, must have heard me, beginning to batter back, maybe a little bit late for him. But in lane 6, Lewis Maxwell is going to take it for Derwent's side. The Derwent side roar, very much loud and proud on the far side, 4:24.19. Jolan Bennett in 2nd for Stockport Metro on 4:26.28. And in 3rd spot, Easton Sutcliffe of City of Leeds, 4:26.32 for him. Let's await the confirmation of the results for that first heat. It's coming very soon indeed. Of course, provisionally, Lewis Maxwell looking as if he got a couple of seconds ahead there of the rest of the pool. That is indeed the case. Maxwell, Bennett, Sutcliffe, your top 3. We now move on to heat 2.
Well, the marker very much set there in heat number 1. Personal best swam all over the pool. But now it's time to meet the swimmers for heat number 2. Going in lane 0, in that orange cap on the right-hand side, it is James Hart from Reading. Next to him in 1 from Deventio, it's Jacob Whittle. Owen Webster of St. Felix School goes in lane 2. And from City of Milton Keynes, it's Joshua Press in 3. Ellis Stanhope of Seven Oaks is in 4, and from Dulwich Dolphins in 5 in the middle there, it's Willem Costa. Jimmy Knowles of Nova Centurion goes in 6. In 7 from West Norfolk, it's Samuel Rose. 8, Oliver Bedworth from Guildford Centurions. 9, Elijah Kendrick from Shiverers. And that makes up the pool in this second heat in the 400 metres as we're approaching the first 100. Laura, when you're sort of back of house, if you like, before you go in the start, especially if you're in the second or the third heat, how aware are you of what's going on in the pool? And does that play on your mind at all, or is it entirely focused on your race?
Certainly in my own experience, I liked to watch what the people before me were doing. I liked to see how they were swimming, how the race panned out, and you just keep an eye on your rivals' times as well. You just try to sort of, I guess, take your mind away from the fact that you are nervous and you're about to race, because those nerves can be damaging. So you focus on things that are very black and white, which are other people's times, but equally you can't control those. So when you do get behind the blocks, you take a look at those times and say, right, that's what so-and-so has done. Now I need to focus on the things that I need to do in this race to ensure I can get the best performance, regardless if that's faster or slower than the heat before.
Of course, always interesting how different athletes react into knowing what they need to achieve going into their races, whether it's heats or finals. Willem Costa from Dulwich in the gold cap in lane 5, going very well at the moment after 150 metres, 2:09.21. He splits in. Ellis Stanhope from Seven Oaks, he's in 2nd place, so keep an eye out for those two swimmers in the middle in those yellow roped lanes. Of course, these heats are theoretically seeded by time. However, we have seen some swimmers really smash their personal bests, and also those quick times from the swimmers in the middle, not necessarily a marker for anything, because we've had some superb performances from those outside lanes, Laura.
We have, I've touched on it yesterday with Jono, that kids this age, 13, 14, even 15 as well, they'll still be PBing, and they'll be PBing in massive chunks, ripping seconds off their times. It's a brilliant time to be a swimmer, and so that means that you just never quite know exactly who's going to be in that kind of PB form. And so you can get PBs from all over the pool, and it could be that someone in the centre lane, who perhaps has already reached their potential for this season, isn't quite up to the scratch, and the outside lanes are peaking for this meet.
Well, as you said, we have some 13-year-old swimmers here as we approach the final 100 metres for the lead racer, Willem Costa, with 100 metres to go. 3:14.19 was his split. James Hart in lane 0 from Reading, he's 13, as is Whittle in 1, and Elijah Kendrick in lane 9 as well. However, the leader is 15-year-old Willem Costa of Dulwich Dolphins. And he's approaching his final 50 metres here, and of course it is that fine balance in these distance races of doing enough to qualify, doing enough to give yourself confidence, but not doing too much to burn yourself out for the final.
In the finals yesterday, we saw quite a bit of swimmers who had certainly swum within themselves in the morning, then come through to take the win in the final from lane 6, maybe 4, maybe 5, but generally their PBs on paper were much faster than what they swam in the heats.
Willem Costa then, 20 metres to go. He is out in front here. He's stretching home, and he is going to take heat 2. But what will the time be? 4:24.44 was his entry time. That is certainly in serious jeopardy. Will he go under 4:20? In fact, it's 4:20 on the nose. An excellent swim from the man in lane 5. Ellis Stanhope comes home in second place outside in lane 4. And third place goes to Jimmy Knowles of Nova Centurion, 4:24.53 for third place. Samuel Rose, West Norfolk of finishes 4th. Whilst we wait for confirmation, and there it is, Costa from Stanhope, from Knowles. That was heat 2. We now move on to heat 3. Heat number 3 then in the men's 400. Let's meet the racers, starting in lane 0. We have Thomas Wyatt from Deventio. In 1 from Stockport Metro, it's Joel Donald. From Grimsby AST in 2, it's Oliver Duckworth. And Benjamin Winterburn from Carnforth goes in lane 3. In lane 4, Luke Jackson from Cockermouth. From Rickneld in lane 5, it is Ryan Huddart. There's no swimmer in lane 6, so we move on to lane 7. Matthew Smith from Northampton. In lane 8, Cameron Pollock from Tigers Jersey. And finally, in lane 9, on the right-hand side as we approach 100 metres, it is Jack Price from Chesterfield. Lanes 2 and 3 turning pretty much at identical times. Oliver Duckworth and Benjamin Winterburn, just over 1 minute.
Now, it's no surprise to me or Jono that we're seeing Oliver Duckworth out in front. This is the exact tactic he used in the 1500 metres earlier on in this meet. He goes out hard from the start. He actually split 2:06 in the opening 200 of the 1500 metres, which is quicker than the entire final heat of that 1500. So very much a swimmer who goes out from the block. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just how some swimmers race. And actually they'll go out hard and then simply try to, in a sense, limit their losses as the race progresses, which is what Oliver Duckworth did. He held on and he took the win in the heat, and it was a brilliant, brilliant swim. And here, again, he is leading from the front. Clearly a swimmer who likes to be out in front, in control, and let the others chase him.
Well, you mentioned in control there. It's important for all the other swimmers, of course, that they remain in control as well. Because if you've got a plan, maybe a slow start and develop into the race, if you think, if you're aware that someone's gone flying out in front, it's really, really important to keep your head, maintain your tactics, and not chase hard and burn out, isn't it?
That's exactly it. We're seeing now Matthew Smith coming through, splitting 2:06.09. Oliver Duckworth again, 2:06.32. Some swimmers out there will actually possibly prefer to do a negative split. So we'll swim the first 200 in a very measured way and then come back equally as fast, if not faster. And it's a hard tactic to employ. It's hard to get it right. It takes training. It takes a lot of pace work in the pool day in, day out, which is what these swimmers will be doing, swimming distance free. And sometimes it can really pay off. And it makes also for very exciting races for us commentators, because you'll see someone out the back suddenly make this huge surge down this third 100, which is the time where people make their move.
Well, it's Luke Huddart in lane 5 at the moment with the lead in the race as we approach the final 100 metres. Luke Jackson had the fastest lead time, 4:23.38 on the way in, but there really is not a lot between these swimmers if they all swim to similar times that they've got registered here. However, as Laura mentioned earlier, these age group swimmers constantly bettering themselves, constantly setting personal bests, and I think some of these PBs that we have here could be going in this swim as we have under 75 metres to go for the leaders. In lane 5, it's Ryan Huddart has a little bit of competition from lane 7, and of course in lane 3 as well. There's a strong finish here. This could be one of those exciting finishes that Laura's talking about. We have lane 5, lane 7 and lane 2. All going for it here. Ryan Huddart, Matthew Smith and Oliver Duckworth with about 25 metres to go over in lane 7. Matthew Smith really starting to eat into that lead now. And as they come to the final 15 metres, it's going to be between Ryan Huddart and Matthew Smith. Huddart has found something a little bit extra though, but it's going to be tight. Keep your eye on the wall. It's all going to be on the touch. And it does go to Huddart, 4:17.24, knocking chunks out of the time that he came into the pool with, which was 4:23.49. Matthew Smith of Northampton, just 0.2 of a second behind. He gets second place, and Oliver Duckworth of Grimsby in lane 2 gets third. Another excellent heat was heat 3. It's time to move on to heat 4.
This heat then sees us at the halfway point in this event. In lane 0, City of St Albans, Jude Lydiard. In 1, from Modernian is Joshua Bristow. In 2, from Borough of Kirklees, Adam Law. Lane 3, from Pioneer 79, Ben Turland. In 4, from Melton Mowbray, William Graham. City of Coventry's Jaime Connell goes in 5. In 6, from Ellesmere College Titans, Keogh Tanner. In 7, from City of Sheffield, William Earl. In 8, from Derwent side is Aaron Beckford. And in 9, from Nova Centurion is Ryan Wilcox. Of course, Oliver Duckworth in the last heat, one of the memorable names from the other day in the 1500s. Quite a few of the names in there as well, even in this heat. How do you sort of go from a 1500, 48 hours on, then to a 400? Does it feel like a walk in the park or a swim in the lake in comparison, if you like? Or is it a completely different ball game and a completely different approach?
The 1500 requires much more of an aerobic endurance effort, a speed endurance effort. The 400 for a 1500 swimmer will feel like a splash and dash. But that's not to say it's not equally as difficult, it's just different. And so this one will require a bit more speed, a bit more strength and a bit more power. And also some really precise pacing as well. You've just got basically 850s, 4 100s here to contend with. And these swimmers will know exactly the pace that they need to stick to. It's very often we see swimmers going out too hard, too slow, and perhaps doing a third. The third 100 is one of the most crucial hundreds in a 400. It's where swimmers can win or lose a race.
And following a 1500, what is the sort of preparation going then into a 400 a couple of days later? Do you change anything, or is it just letting your body just carry on and fighting through?
These kids are going to be pretty resilient. They will be training potentially 4 hours a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. They'll be swimming so much that actually a 1500 2 days ago and now a 400, they should be able, if they've nailed their recovery, if they've swum down after the 1500, if they've eaten right, if they've drunk enough, obviously they're here all day and it is hot in a pool environment, then they should come out fighting fit for the 400. They'll just probably change their warm-ups in the morning, do a bit more speed work before the 400. Obviously the pace they go at their 50s and their 100s will be that much faster as well. And it's just about turning on a bit of quick speed.
Well, of course, it's a different kettle of fish for the women, as they had their 400 metres yesterday and tomorrow go into their long distance with the 800 metre freestyle. So a bit of role reversal for them. But the men going from the 1500 down to the 400, and it's certainly no easier. At the moment we have 3 at the front. In lane 2 is Adam Law of Borough of Kirklees. In 5, Jaime Connell of City of Coventry. And on the far side as well is Ryan Wilcox of Nova Centurion. So things very much spread out at this moment in time. And turning first, Jaime Connell of City of Coventry as he embarks now in his final 100 metres. 4:21.48 was the entry time. Of course, we've seen quite a few entry times get shredded down already in these heats, and it is now surprise. And of course as well, mixture of age categories in this one. We focus more on the 16-year-olds now as we go through the heats. The ages usually get older and older as the heats get faster and faster. There's still a few 15-year-olds in there as well. So a mixture of interest, if you like, as we go into the final 50 metres. And the kicks really beginning to start from Jaime Connell. You can tell he's been keeping that in the tank as the water just splashes from his feet. Not so much of a kick from Adam Law of Borough of Kirklees in lane 2, but it's still efficient enough for him to still be in there. The core and the arms, so they're doing a lot of work right now for him as he keeps in touching distance of the front 3. That 3 is completed by Ryan Wilcox of Nova Centurion. That trio have been towards the top of the pool all the way through this race. They've done it to perfection, and they'll touch in 1, 2 and 3 as well, with Jaime Connell first, Adam Law second, and Ryan Wilcox in third. Front 3 well ahead of the rest of the pack, and the cavalry just finishing their entrance towards the wall now. Let's have a look then at the confirmation for all those times in heat 4. Jaime Connell top, Adam Law second, Ryan Wilcox third. Nothing changing there as we now go on to heat 5. We go then with heat 5 of 8 in the pool this time around. Lane 0 of Battle of Phoenix is James Cooper, who's in the 15-year category, and also in that category is lane 9, Thomas Watkin of Royal Wolverhampton. In the middle of them, lane 1, Northampton, Jack Buswell. In 2, Maidenhead, Joel Lang. In lane 3, representing Wickham District, is Oliver Innes. Lane 4 from Leicester Penguins, Isaac von Fintel. Lane 5, Winchester, Fergus Phelan. In 6, representing City of St Albans, is Ralph Munzer. In 7, from Maxwell, Matthew Burton, and George Farr of City of Bristol is in 8. 2 outside lanes, as I say, 15-year category, the rest in the 16-year battle. And of course the benchmark being set by Jaime Connell in that last heat as well. And at the traps, with the split time there of under a minute, Ralph Munzer of City of St Albans in that first quarter. Also Jack Buswell as well in lane 1. And one thing that's very noticeable indeed, Laura, is that the kicks slow down. So the first 100, the first 50, if you like, the white in the pool is massive, and then now it slows down a bit before we'll see it again in the final 100.
When those boys, when the girls dive in the pool, they're going to be full of adrenaline, and that's got to go somewhere, and you've got to try and rein some of it back in to be used later in the race. And so very often you'll see swimmers going for it at the start. They want to get out there and show what they're capable of over the first 50, 100 and hit that pace and make sure they're on top of the pace they need to be on. And then they'll just settle slightly, and we're seeing it exactly now, settling into a nice rhythm. The leg kicks die ever so slightly. And I'm not actually one to talk about leg kick. My poor mother used to sit in the stands and basically scream at me to kick my legs. So I was very much a shoulders and arms distance freestyler, and I barely kicked until the last 100 or so. But then I did kick, and then hopefully got the sprint for home. So you'll see these boys start to use their legs once again to get themselves home over that last 100 metres. It depends though on the swimmer. Some swimmers in here will have a much more efficient stroke using that leg kick as well to propel them.
You certainly do notice with the coaches as well, as soon as the swimmers turn for that final 100, they start flapping their arms around on the side and trying to signify to the swimmers, to get the kicks going. At the moment, though, consolidation is key. And currently cementing themselves at the front is Joel Lang in lane 2 of Maidenhead, with Jack Buswell just up alongside him to his left in lane 1. There's around a half a body length buffer between those two. It's very tight as well in between lanes 5 and 6. Fergus Phelan and Ralph Munster of Winchester and City of St Albans respectively. Quite a few packs of 2 knocking around the pool. We've got 3 and 4 as well with Oliver Innes and Isaac von Fintel, and 7 and 8 with Matthew Burton and George Farr. And sort of are these swimmers in the packs just waiting for this final 100 now on the turn to just spread themselves and get away from the other?
There is an element of getting that third 100 out the way. It's one of the toughest. It's where people will start to make their moves. It's when also you can actually drop back and realise, I've gone out too hard, I haven't quite got it today, this isn't going to be a good one. It also then, on the fourth 100, you wait almost for this renewed sense of energy and a second wind to an extent, another adrenaline kick where you can go, right, I'm going to go. And suddenly the energy in the pool and the energy around the pool as well lifts. And you can see that in the way the swimmers now will turn into this final 50, and it is game on.
Absolutely, 50 metres to go, and a lot of the swimmers not wanting to let go of their partners at the moment. Lanes 1 and 2, Jack Buswell and Joel Lang still pretty much tied together. They're now trying to scurry away from each other. James Cooper in lane 0 wants to get in on the action as well. In 5 and 6, still Fergus Phelan and Ralph Munster scrapping away, and all the front 2 pairs now are beginning to merge towards the front and make a front quartet. Also in lane 3, Oliver Innes escaping from Isaac von Fintel. They'll run out of pull, though, to come towards the front as the main 4 come in now. 1 and 6 in particular pushing it really close, with Ralph Munster in lane 6 first on 4:16.45, Jack Buswell second on 4:16.69, and completing the fastest trio. And certainly those swimmers having to earn their place there towards the top of that leaderboard. Fergus Phelan of Winchester in third position, just 0.12 seconds ahead of Joel Lang in fourth. That was heat 5. Then up next, heat 6.
Take your marks.
After that brilliant swim to win heat number 5 from Ralph Munster, we move on to heat 6 in lane 0 from Winchester. It's Thomas Menlove. In 1 from Derwentsside, Oliver O'Halloran. Miles Turner from West Suffolk goes in lane 2. And from Basildon and Phoenix in 3, it's Rhys Nichols. From Wickham District in lane 4, Benjamin Goldfinch. From Wrekin College in 5, Samuel Neild. Jay Snowden goes in 6 from Plymouth Leander. In 7, Ben Harrison from Mount Kelly. In 8, Harry Whiteman from City of Peterborough. And finally, in lane 9, from Gloucester, it is Adam Hall. As we reach the 100-metre point, it's going to be Benjamin Goldfinch who turns in first position, 57.59 as well, as we expected. The times creeping down, not just for the splits, but for the finishes too. Oliver O'Halloran going well in lane 1. He turned in second place in that white cap and the orange and black shorts. The man in the lead in lane 4 in these early stages, Benjamin Goldfinch, out there in the middle in the purple shorts and the green cap as we reach the turn at 150 metres. 129.14. Now, these times getting lower as we expect, Laura, but at what point do the people in the later heats think, well, actually, you know, we should be cruising through here, but guys like Samuel Neild, they're putting in good times. We need to be on top of our game.
It's funny you say that. Before the heat started, I was looking at the boys behind the block, and I could see a few of them just sneaking a glance up to that screen to check what times the heat before. Did you always want to go one better than the heat before? And in fact, it was Benjamin Goldfinch who was looking at that screen to make sure the man now leading out in front with about a body length lead or so, just under maybe, coming in to this third 100. You never want to really think, I'm going to cruise through into the final. I've known swimmers who have thought that and had an easy heat swim, swum within themselves, and then not made the final. And that is a very difficult one to explain to your parents who've dragged you all the way up to Sheffield.
Absolutely. That's the thing, isn't it? Very often we only look at podiums, and that's across sport. We look at gold, silver and bronze medals. However, it's ultimately about swimming or running or jumping, depending on what event you're doing, as well as you can. And if you go home with a personal best and you haven't made the podium, but you've swum as well as you can, then I think you can judge that as a successful weekend.
And equally as well, it is about PBs. Certainly at this age, PBing is what it is all about. But also, if you've executed a race plan to perfection, if you've gone out there and swum really well and tried a new race plan, a new tactic, you may not have come away with a PB. And sometimes, certainly this late in the season, some of these swimmers won't be PBing. They may hit a season's best, but they may not PB. If you come away with a positive from the race, that's something to take away as well. I think good and bad race experiences are all lessons to be learned, and you've got to kind of discard the result to an extent and just think, on what point did I do that process right? What could I have done better? And if you've executed a race plan well, your coach should be very happy.
Well, talking about race plans, Ben Harrison seems to have timed this one particularly well. The man from Mount Kelly in lane 7 turns in first place, 340.42 for him. In second place, Miles Turner from West Suffolk. He is in lane 2, and those two are leaving the 4 lanes in the middle behind as we enter the latter stages of this race. Ben Harrison of Mount Kelly, he's coming under pressure from Miles Turner in lane 2, and now all of a sudden the middle lanes are coming back into it as well. This is going to be close at the finish. It's going to be a good time too. Who's going to get there? It will be Harrison executing that race plan, coming good as the race progresses. 4:11.31. Very, very sharp from the Mount Kelly swimmer. He gets first place. Miles Turner of West Suffolk in lane 2. He takes second, and confirmed from Wycombe District, Benjamin Goldfinch takes third. That was heat 6. Next up, heat 7. Heat number 7 then. Lane 0 from Bolton Metro, it is James Morrison. From Northampton in 1, Samuel Blackett. Henry Dixon goes in lane 2 from Mount Kelly. And in lane 3, Elliot Pickford from Wirral Metro. From Wrekin College, it is William Slawson in 4. And in lane 5, it's Declan Hall from Wigan Best. Bailey Hareseen goes in lane 6 from Kingston upon Hull. Benjamin Prosser in 7 from Wycombe District. Thomas Smith goes in lane 8 from Northampton, and finally in lane 9 from Exeter City, it's Dominic Wooldridge. So we actually have no swimmer in lane 2, Laura. If you're swimming and you think, oh, I've got a lane 3 or a lane 1 here, I've got someone to maybe get pace off on my right or left hand side, how much impact can that have, the empty lane either side of you?
I think if you have got a swimmer next to you, certainly lane 0 and lane 1 are together, and then lane 3 and lane 4 are together. Not having lane 2 isn't as much of an impact. For example, if you're swimming in lane 0 and you haven't got anyone in lane 1, and then the rest of the pool is to your left-hand side, as we're looking at the pool now, travelling down towards that third 50 mark, it can be quite distracting, and it's at that point where you get to the heat and you realise, oh, hang on, someone here isn't going to be swimming, I'm going to be on my own on the edge of the pool. And it's then you've got to go, right, this is my race, I've got to swim it to exactly my pace. And being on the outside lane, actually, I said it yesterday as well, the coaches will love it because they can actually really transmit clear, concise information to their swimmer. These boys in the pool now are going to be swimming entirely on feel, and what they feel the pace is, they should be hitting. And also, if they feel they've got a bit more, just giving it a bit. And the empty lane there in lane 2, it will have a bit of an effect, certainly that when the boys look one way, they haven't got a swimmer there to work off or to work against. But having someone next to you on the other side should help.
Well, Declan Hall led things at the halfway point, but Benjamin Prosser in lane 7 in the green cap from Wycombe District. He's giving him a run for his money and might in fact take the lead as we go into the next turn. Speaking of that turn, Laura, how important is that period of time under the water, off the wall?
I think for kids like this, they are the skills they're going to want to be absolutely nailing right now as they're progressing and learning through their swimming careers. I don't think you can win a race like a 400 with a good underwater phase, but I think you can certainly lose it. You can lose time on each and every turn, and then you have to use that little bit more energy to get back into contention. And I'll fully admit my turns when I was swimming weren't the best, and very often I'd have to work super hard during the actual swimming part of the length to get back into contention, and in a way that's a bit of a waste of energy. And so if you can get those kicks nailed off the wall, past the flags, not breathing out of the turns, you're on.
Well, energy is a word that you mentioned a couple of times there, and of course 400 metres is all about conserving and efficiently using that energy. Unlike the 50 metres, where it is get in the pool, get to the end as quickly as you can, it is all about using your tools to the best of your ability. And the man that's doing that with 50 metres to go is Benjamin Prosser. He's hunted down Declan Hall. They turn for the final period in first and second place. William Slauson of Wrekin College in third, and Dominic Wooldridge in lane 9 in fourth. But what an interesting battle it has been throughout. Lane 7, Benjamin Prosser is in the green cap. Lane 5 is Declan Hall in the black cap and the orange shorts. Hall coming back in the final 50 metres, but keep your eye on Slauson in 4 as well. A strong finish from him. It's going to be tight for 1, 2 and 3 here in the 400 metres. It goes to Hall. It was Benjamin Prosser who turned in first for the final 50 metres, but Hall managed to find something extra and just about takes the win. 4:08.38 for him. William Slauson of Wrekin College, a brilliant finish from him. Out of nowhere, he takes second place, and Benjamin Prosser takes third in heat number 7. Next up, heat 8.
Away we go with our final heat, heat number 8. These swimmers will know exactly what they need to do in order to be at the finals tonight. Of course, a couple of different age categories involved as well. The higher echelons of the age categories, a few 17-year-olds and a few seniors as well, the 18 years and above. Let's have a run through then who makes up the lanes here. In 0 from Royal Wolverhampton is Kane Murcott. In 1 from Modernian, Max Wilson. William Davies of Swindon Dolphins goes in 2. In 3 from Bath University is Matthew Wright. 4 from Thanet Swim is Samuel Crabtree. William Martin of Maxwell goes in 5. In 6 from Ellesmere College Titans is Jack Shillinglaw. In 7 from Lingus is Jordan Byrne. In 8 from City of Milton Keynes is Marcus Johnson. And in 9 from Bromley is Joseph Dobb. Of course, Jordan Byrne in lane 7 from Ireland. We do have the odd swimmer, of course, in the Swim England National Summer Meets. Swimmers from other parts of the world, but of course, Ireland not too far away at all. And Jordan Byrne taking part here in Sheffield. Very good to see indeed. And as we go into our final heat, William Davies in lane 2 on Swindon Dolphins. Always getting good support on Twitter, the Swindon Dolphin swimmer. Also, Laura, some of your comments have been getting good feedback as well, particularly from Sarah. Lovely comments from Sarah. I think she's your new biggest fan. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow with the 800-metre freestyle when you're not here.
I know, very sorry to say I'm not going to be here for much longer, but I have thoroughly enjoyed doing the commentary here, and we do love all your comments on Twitter and all your feedback as well. It's been great to read. I'm glad someone's listening to what I'm whittering on about, but it's been brilliant to draw on the memories I've got of racing, because it formed such a huge part of my childhood, and I think all the swimmers here today will just be in the moment right now, but when they look back on this in 10, 12, 15 years' time, they'll realise these were some of the best times of their childhood, and swimming certainly formed a huge part of who I am today, and it's testament to the sport and to the community, I think, that swimming creates, that we're all here, and even those I know who I swam with back in the day are now coaching. There are so many familiar names for me, looking at the coaches and at the people who are in the higher echelons of clubs now who are still in the sport, and that's testament to it.
Of course, you're wearing yellow today, Laura. Myself and Dave have been squeezing you like a lemon, getting the information out of you in these 400-metre freestyle heats. certainly learnt a lot, and I hope some people watching on the live stream and in Ponds Forge have as well. So William Martin currently the one leading the way in lane 5 of Maxwell. He's doing a very good job indeed, and behind him, just a pack at the moment, either side of him in 4, Samuel Crabtree and Jack Shillinglaw in 6 as well. And just on the tailgate, Matthew Wright in lane 3. This is more or less your traditional V-shape down the centre. And just disrupting that in lane 0 is Kane Murcott of Royal Wolverhampton, who's knocking around the front 5 positions in the turn for the final 100. You can see the signal from the coaches beginning to come to get the legs up and get kicking, and big kick coming from Samuel Crabtree in lane 4. Of course, quickest entry time coming into this in the whole event for 4:07.47 for the Thanet swimmer. And he's got a bit of work to do here, not only to just catch up with William Martin in lane 5, but also up alongside him as well. Matthew Wright in 3, and in 6, Jack Shillinglaw, with Marcus Johnson in lane 8 also getting in on the act as well. In we go to the final 50 metres then. A lot of hard work required from the rest of the pool in order to catch up with William Martin, who himself will know what is around you. You cannot get complacent here. 25 metres to go. Still a lot of times to be sorted in terms of the finals tonight. Who will get there? William Martin looking well in the ascendancy for qualification. Of course, all about the time rather than the places in these heats. He comes in on 4:04.72. Next in will be Matthew Wright. Third is anyone's guess, and Kane Murcott of Royal Wolverhampton, 5th, as we said, around 100 metres ago, propels himself a couple of places further forward and gets himself into the top trio, just ahead of Samuel Crabtree, and also ahead of Marcus Johnson, who had a very strong last 100 indeed as well. So for the final time in this event, there's your confirmation of the top 10, with William Martin in the top 3, with Matthew Wright and Kane Murcott in 2nd and 3rd respectively. So do make sure you do keep them tweets coming in, hashtag SE Swimming. Don't forget, of course, one event still to come. We still want those good luck messages coming in, and your entries as well for the competition, with the tier goodie bag on offer as well.
We move on to our final event of the morning, the women's 100-metre freestyle and heat number 1.
Take your marks.
Heat 1 then underway. In lane 3, Caris Brealey of Harlow Penguins. Lane 4, Jessica McKenzie of Rugby. Lane 5, Isabel Hextall of Kingston Hull. Lane 6, Gretel Goodgame of City of Oxford. Just 4 swimmers in this opening heat, and a real change of pace now in the pool. We saw a steady rhythm, a steady tempo being ticked away in the 400-metre heats. Now it's pretty much splash and dash, fast and furious action from the start. Over the 100 metres, there is no time to conserve any energy whatsoever. Turning first, Caris Brealey of Harlow Penguins, 29.4 at the split, 29.65 for Isabel Hextall. All 4 swimmers swimming sub-30 on this opening 50 metres. And now coming into the final 15 metres of this race, Brealey still in control. Gretel Goodgame also coming through with a strong 50 after turning 4th at the wall. She may get the touch here, you know. She does. 1:01.84. For Gretel Goodgame, City of Oxford swimmer. Caris Brealey in 2nd for Harlow Penguins, 1:01.93, and 1:02.06 for Jessica McKenzie. Official results up on the board. We move to Heat 2. Heat number 2 then underway. Lane 0, Molly Jo Garrett of York City. Lane 1, Amber Downham of Chesterfield. Lane 2, Harriet Rogers of Darlington. Lane 3, Clara von Oppel of Chelsea and Westminster. Oriana Knoll swims in lane 4 for Plymouth Leander. Izzy May Reeves in lane 5 for City of Sheffield, here on home water. Hannah Woodcock for Pershaw in lane 6. Lane 7, Nadia Sterling, City of Birmingham. Isabel Goodwin swims in lane 8 for City of Leeds. Hermione Rowe goes in lane 9 for City of Bradford. Hannah Woodcock then the fastest over the first 50, 28.77 her split. 29.23 for Nadia Sterling as well. Hannah Woodcock then, some distance ahead here, half a second or so at the 50, and enjoying that clear water lead certainly over the swimmer next to her. Look out though for lane 0 and lane 1, both finishing fast. Amber Downham and Molly Jo Garrett as they come into the wall. Hannah Woodcock takes it, 60.33. Nadia Sterling held on very well from that challenge from across the pool, 61.41 for her. Isabel Goodwin, 61.5 for third. And lane 0 and lane 1, 4th and 5th in that heat. Good swimming from the outside lanes. Official results up on the scoreboard. And it's time for heat number 3.
In Heat 3, there is no swimmer in lane 0. In lane 1, it's Emma Nettleton from Newquay. Amy West goes in 2 from Stockport Metro. Ellie Vowell of Sevenoaks in lane 3. In lane 4, it's Olivia Butler from City of Bristol. Julia Murphy goes in 5 for Camden Swiss Cottage. Abigail Poulton from Guildford City in 6. Adelaida Gradalas goes in lane 7 from Barnes. Mia Greener from Wigan Best in 8. And Annabelle Burgess of Team Ipswich in 9. At the turn, it's Abigail Poulton from Guildford who leads in lane 6. But it's very close in 4 and 5 as well. And even over on the far side, in lane 8 and 9, Mia Greener and Annabelle Burgess going well too. But in lane 6 at the moment, Abigail Poulton just holding them off. But Amy West coming through in lane number 2 in that blue cap as well. Looking like West has done enough certainly to place, possibly to win it. And she does in just over a minute. 1:00.17. Amy West from Stockport Metro takes heat number 3. Abigail Poulton awarded 2nd place. Olivia Butler of City of Bristol takes 3rd in 1:00.47. Next up, heat number 4. Zoe Naylor Parrott of Sevenoaks goes in lane 0. Jessica Law of Southport in lane 1. In lane 2 from Kingston upon Hull, it's Megan Gray. Francesca Whitting of Sevenoaks goes in 3. In lane 4, it's Charlotte Wynne-Jones of City of Milton Keynes. Emma Hodgson of Isle of Man in lane 5. In lane 6, Alicia Lee of Havant and Waterlooville. Ella Bargett of Plymouth Leander in lane 7. In lane 8, Eleanor Dewhurst of Anaconda and Delphine Little of City of Oxford goes in lane 9. Elena Dewhurst of Anaconda in lane 8 turned the quickest, 28.60. That's very quick indeed, and she doesn't look to be letting up in lane 8 either. She's about half a length in front of the swimmer in lane 3, which is Francesca Whiting, who's coming under pressure from lane 1. Jessica Law with a very strong finish. In fact, Jessica Law might have done enough to maybe even take the first touch here. Brilliant racing in these heats. Elena Dewhurst holds on and is the first swimmer to break 1 minute. 59.88 for Dewhurst to win heat number 4. 2nd place, Francesca Whitting, and 3rd, Jessica Law in heat number 4. Next up in the women's 100-meter freestyle, it's heat 5.
Clean starts all around then and a good reaction in lane 1. Let's run through the swimmers in this heat 5 of the women's 100-metre freestyle. In lane 0, Amy Mead. Lane 1, Laura Lacrasse. Lane 2, Sarah Carroll. Lane 3, Caitlin Bradford. Lane 4, Charlotte Renz. Lane 5, Imogen Mears. Lane 6, Faye Francis. Lane 7, Caitlin Kilgallen. Lane 8, Annie Pearson. And lane 9, Millie Boulding. And it was Lacrasse who got that quick start. Reactions very important over the splash and dash sprint events like the 50 and indeed the 100. Now though we are seeing why Imogen Mears is one of the fastest in this heat on paper. Her entry time here is 60.61. Perhaps will be challenged by this storming swim today in the black and green suit in lane 5. Now though comes Charlotte Renz, who is the fastest on paper coming into this heat. It's going to go though to Imogen Mears. 59.51. Always a swimmer's dream to break the 60-second mark. Imogen Mears has done just that in this heat. Annie Pearson also going sub 60, 59.90. And Charlotte Renz, close, 60.04. Fantastic swimming there. The official results on the board as we move to heat 6. Heat 6 underway then in lane 0. Avril Bowler, Borough of Kirklees, with one of the quickest reaction times from the block as well. Lane 1, Freya Cole of Rushton. Lane 2, Molly Colbert of Grantham. Lane 3, Molly Quelch, Team Mercia. Lane 4, Beth Britton of Atlantis. Lane 5, Charlotte Walker of UEA Norwich. Lane 6, Rebecca Watt of Dunmow. Lane 7, Megan Malloy of Enfield. Lane 8, Lauren Hessian of Mount Kelly. And lane 9, Charlotte Fletcher Stables of Northampton. 27.87 then the time, the standard set over the first 50 by Beth Britton in lane 4. She's come into this on a 58.51. At the moment enjoying a fair bit of a lead as well over the ladies closer to her, and increasing that lead crucially over the final 15 metres or so where you can tie up and really begin to snatch at the water. She isn't though. Super long stroke into the wall, very relaxed indeed. 59.13 for Beth Britton. 59.87 for Charlotte Walker in second. Lauren Hessian having a good swim from lane 8, 60.33 her time. The results then up on the scoreboard, and we move on to our penultimate heat.
Two more races then to go in this morning session, ladies and gentlemen, and a full complement as well in Heat 7. In lane 0 from Sutton Cheam is Alice Nickott. In 1 from City of Peterborough, Mackenzie Wyatt. Charlotte Nestor of Wigan Best goes in 2. In lane 3 from Preston is Elizabeth Woodcock. In 4 from Newcastle, Jane Brown. Lauren Cooley of Cockermouth goes in 5. In 6 from Team Bath is Rhiannon Bowen. 7th from St Felix is Sonia Tumiotto. Molly Francis of Mount Kelly goes in 8. And in 9 is Charlotte Hall of Deventio Excel. Just getting her nose in front in 8 is Molly Francis of Mount Kelly, and also in 4 as well, Jane Brown of Newcastle. They look like very good indeed. In 0, Alice Nickott up there in towards the wall. And they are your front 3. Jane Brown, 59.45, gets there ahead of Molly Francis, who's 2nd. Alice Nickott of Sutton Cheam in 3rd position. Front 3, all sub 60 seconds that time around in Heat 7. Confirmation on the scoreboard now, and we now move on to our final race, Heat 8.
Take your marks.
In lane 0 from Leatherhead is Jocelyn Cosmatos. In 1 from City of Peterborough, Poppy Richardson. Lane 2 from Team Bath, Misty Marshall-Welling. In 3 from Bracknell is Charlotte Stevenson. Molly Allen of City of Peterborough goes in 4. In 5 of Bolton Metro is Anna Doherty. In 6 from Wickham District, Molly Dummett. 7 from City of Leicester, Chloe Baxter. In 8, Newmarket's Lauren Watt. And Maya Dunlevy of Chelsea and Westminster goes in 9. So representative here from each of the 5 age categories, which is very rare indeed, especially at this sort of time in the heats as well. Down the centre in lane 4, Molly Allen of City of Peterborough, the oldest in the pool, certainly putting on the afterburners as we come in towards the back end of this final race of the morning. Also a good job being done in 3 and 5 as expect with the heat times on paper. Charlotte Stevenson, Anna Doherty on the far side as well. Maya Dunleavy's not too far away in lane 9, but Molly Allen comes in first on 58.41. Have to wait almost a second for Charlotte Stevenson to arrive next in second, and in third spot Anna Doherty of Bolton Metro means that the top 4 there all get under 1 minute once again. Top 3 being Allen, Stevenson and Doherty. That concludes the women's 100 metre freestyle heats. And it also concludes the morning session as well, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much again for your attendance here in Ponds Forge on this penultimate day of action at the Swim England National Summer Meet. A big thank you to those as well watching on the live stream. And a big thank you to our officials as well, who may now leave the poolside.